What the heck? Why did it mute? Hi. Hello, everyone. And welcome. How are we doing today? Oh, I hope you guys are having such a wonderful Sunday. Welcome in. It is good to have you here. Hi, Muzzy. Hi, Mitty. Oh my gosh, it's Mitty kittens. And Krypton's here. Shut the front door. Hunter, thank you for getting first. And Matsuma, thank you for getting second. Steven, you legend. Thank you for paying your taxes. Steven's even at the event still. Matsuma, thank you for paying your Jesus. Sorry, excuse me. Taxes. Benny, thank you for paying yours. Hunter, it's always so good to see you. Krypton, thank you for paying your taxes. Welcome in, everyone. Oh God. Oh geez. Howdy doody. How do we doody on this Sunday? There is so much that I have to share with you all. So many exciting things just happening on the horizon. Things that happened this past weekend that I can't wait to share with you. But that is going to have to wait for another day. Probably Tuesday. Because today we had to move the schedule around and Alex was so gracious in being flexible with me on timing. We moved our schedule around today for our Sunday social vibe. Today we are going to be learning about Cyberpunk 2077, some linguistics with Alex. Now, Alex is a wealth of knowledge and brilliant. And it is going to be a really fun conversation, dialogue-ish, but mostly Alex teaching us about stuff and me chiming in whenever I kind of have a thought bubble. A thought. But if you guys have questions, if you guys would like to pose any questions, please feel free to do so. I will do my best to keep tabs on them or ask you to repeat them because Alex is like big brain. Lots and lots of information in there. I think that you guys will have a really good time learning from him, learning with him. So exciting. I'm really excited about this one. And I hope that you guys are as well. I haven't talked a lot about it because I didn't want to give too much away. In addition to me not knowing a lot about what we're learning in order to keep myself from giving too much away for myself. Because I want to kind of, learn alongside you guys. So here we are. This is what we're doing, and I'm happy. Hungry, it's fine. I understand, and I forgive you this time. Coco, thank you for paying your taxes. Nephilim, thank you for paying your taxes as well. Welcome in. I hope that you all have had a really great Sunday or start to it. I have had a very wonderful Sunday. I got to hang out with friends. I got to go to a Twitch-hosted event, local event. So far, very good day. Very good day. I booked my train ticket for the date and we finalized where we're gonna go. Wait, what you guys are doing? Jesus, I'm sorry. Let me get a drink. Mazzy, what are you... don't give too much away, but what are you guys doing? Look who it is, the man of the hour. Freaking Alex! Welcome in, dude. Thank you again for being super willing and flexible. I'm gonna thank you about a million times, but... Oh, I love you a ton, Coco. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for coming by. I hope you're feeling okay today. We're going to an aquarium. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, how romantic. You guys are going to be in that like blue lighting, staring at each other romantically. I'm excited. Plus, it's kind of educational, so that's a plus. That is a huge plus, Mazzy. I am so excited for you. When is is it this upcoming week? In 2 weeks, in 5 weeks? You don't have to give too much away. I don't obviously want you to dox yourself, but if it's soon, I'm super excited for you. Rose, thank you so much for paying your taxes. Welcome in, lovely. It is so good to see you. How are you doing? What's the haps today? Oh, Coco, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what the haps is about. We are going to be learning, and I'm going to read Alex's PowerPoint one for one here. We are going to be learning about Night City Japanese. So this is from the game Cyberpunk 2077, which is a game that we are currently playing. So I think it is quite fitting that we explore this conversation, right? But we are exploring it with a true to form, brilliant linguist's linguist. Whoa, that's a hard word to say. Alex. So I am truly, truly, truly looking forward to this conversation, to the information that's going to be shared with us. I think it's going to be really fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Things are going plugging away like normal. I love to hear it, Rose. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I've had a really good day today. A really, really, really good day. And I had a really good day yesterday. I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons to share with you guys. But I won't share right now. We will share very, very soon. 3 weeks to go. Honest, can't wait. I am so excited for you, Mazzy. That sounds like a dream. Steven, no worries. Please drive safely. We appreciate you. Love you to bits, dude. Psycho. Jesus Christ. Psycho, what's good? How we doing today? All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop into it now. I don't want to keep Alex waiting too long. I think my audio is all set up. I'm going to move us over to... Wait, let me get this. Move it here for a second. We're going to do this. Put us into a slideshow. Pull this guy up. All right, Alex, I'm going to give you a call now. You take your time and you respond when you want to. I'm also a bit coughy. Popped in a cough candy. No problem. We're just going to be two pals coughing on stream. Dan's here too. He says hi. He hopes that we learn a lot today. We're going to learn everything. Plus, she's having a girl. What? Also been planning my cousin's gender reveal party for the week before. She's going to hate it. Oh my God. I am thrilled. Congratulations to who was it? Your cousin? Congratulations to your cousin. Trusting your family to host something like that, not immediate family, but extended family, is incredible and ballsy. And I love that for them. Okay, we're calling Alex. There's no rush. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hello, wait 1 second. I forgot to connect my Bluetooth thing.
Okay, no problem. All she said was no confetti, so I haven't gotten any confetti. Glitter, however. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Let me increase the volume again. Guys, how does he sound? Please let me know how Alex sounds.
How do I sound? And can you hear the fan? Or is it okay?
I cannot hear a fan,
Okay,
personally.
Good. Okay, good.
Sweeney, thank you for paying your taxes. Signed. Thank you for paying your taxes. Love
I
having
whipped
you.
out the good VPN for this.
Oh,
So,
we are so lucky today. We got the good VPN,
so
babes.
lucky.
For the sake of free education.
Yep.
So I need somebody in chat to let me know how he sounds. Is he loud enough? We know that the quality of his mic is just a little bit off. I will do my best not to talk over him. And there's a slight delay for us. But we are just keep us posted.
Yeah, so I can talk for quality assessment.
Love you, Mazzy. Have fun. Enjoy.
Loudness assessment. Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. Mazzy says, sound is good for you. Booty Bandit asks, I think generally speaking, what's your favorite fruit? Seems okay to me. I can hear him just fine. Okay, Krypton, thank you. Magnets, thank you so much.
I will keep an eye out for chat just in case.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
I can see the questions coming in if anybody is going to have any questions.
Yes. And we thoroughly recommend that if you have questions, ask them, because Alex is here. Use our time wisely. Use Alex's time wisely. So, but okay.
I might fall asleep somewhere in 2 to 2.5 hour
Thank you, baby.
period, because it is kind of late my time. But I will push through this. It's okay. I got prepared. I knew what I was getting myself into.
And I appreciate you.
No problem at all.
Oh my God. Okay. So, Alex, here's what we're going to do. Let's just get started then, because I don't want to take too much of your time. You need to go to bed and rest. Let's get started. Do you want to give everybody a quick introduction to who you are and what you would like to share as far as your own... Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Oh no. The
No,
good.
I cannot hear you.
What? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, what I was saying is, why don't you go ahead and start us off with a quick or long winded, whatever you want, introduction of yourself so that chat can kind of get to know you and your credentials and whatever you want to share.
Right. So hi everybody, I'm Alex. Uh, as I've been talking, like that's the main way I present myself, is I am a translation studies major, and I'm currently in postgrad for, what's the full title? Theoretical, applied, and comparative contrastive linguistics. And I focus on contrastive linguistics. And uh, here we can see that Nikki and I managed to find a learning chart from Night City. And it's from somebody named Alex Mendel, who appears to be from the Arasaka Corporation Eastern Europe branch, the Department of Cyberlinguistics. Or if we were to, just in case any Arasaka officers are watching, we can also go in another direction and say, はじめまして、アラサク同志社のサイバー言語学部のアレクソ・メンデルと申します。よろしくお願いいたします。Right, so coming back to our reality, right? Thank you. I am as I said, I am a postgrad in linguistics, specifically contrastive linguistics, and my PhD is on contrasting Russian and Japanese and how subject-predicate relations work in those two languages. Uh, we will get into that a bit more deeply throughout the presentation, and I will show up what I mean here and there. But that's generally it. I will go through like translated texts and some original texts. Now, for my dissertation, I mean, here specifically, if we look at the next slide, we'll see that what we mean is the topics covered is that we'll cover some Japanese basics. Then we'll look at some corporations-related vocabulary. Again, we will see what it means in a minute. We'll look at some names and surnames of the characters from the game, because there's a lot of very intricate stuff when it comes to character naming and what information that portrays about the character. Street signs and location names. And by the end of it, we'll go through conversational Japanese, specifically business and casual stuff, more generally. We can take a deeper look into it if we want to, if Nikki wants to. And then something that I wanted to talk about and something I wanted to look at more deeply, which would be more of a conversational Nikki, I was thinking, is cyberpunk in Japanese. So sort of the construction of the history of the genre of cyberpunk, and why the hell it is so Japanese. Even like let's not jump right into too quickly. So the third slide, right, slide number 2, is about the basics of the writing system of Japanese. So as people may know, Japanese has 3 different writing systems, being kanji, the quote-unquote main one, where it's literally translated as Chinese characters. So those two kanji put together mean Chinese characters. The first one being the kanji for the Han Dynasty in China, and the second one meaning characters. So literally the characters of the Han Dynasty of China. And it is not an alphabet, as people probably know by now. It is what is called a logographic writing system. Logos meaning, and graphing meaning writing. So it's a system where what you write is what you mean and not what you hear, as opposed to an alphabet or a syllabary. So syllabary is the kana systems. that are derived from kanji, where we have katakana and hiragana. Again, we will look more closely at katakana and hiragana in a bit. But firstly, let's look at the different ways kanji can be read. So, from our Western point of view, we're more or less used to, like, if it's the letter A, it is read as A. If it's B, it's B, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But kanji can be read differently depending on the context. So I have two different ways a kanji can be read in general. Those being onyomi, which literally means sound reading. So the reading based off of the phonetic, uh, phonetic, the sound, the phonetic characteristics of the kanji, they came from China originally.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are kunyomi, which literally mean explanation reading, which are the native Japanese readings for different kanji. What we have is, and they can have a combination of whatever a number of readings.
Mm.
Like it is pretty common for a kanji to have of up to 5 different readings, and have, for example, three different onyomi Chinese readings. And the reason for that is
Hmm.
that those kanji would come in at different historical periods from different geographical regions of China, where that specific kanji would either historically be read differently or would be read differently from the get-go because it's a different dialect or a dialect of Chinese, that being influenced by its like relations to other languages, for example. And here, the big split usually is that if a kanji has a, like, let's say, like an adjective reading, where it is used as an adjective, or a verb reading, those are exclusively kunyomi, exclusively Japanese
Mm.
uh, readings. And again, we'll see that a bit more throughout the presentation, throughout the slides.
Uh,
Right. So,
can I ask
yep. Go
something?
ahead.
Um, is that because adjectives and verbs tend to be, as the like definition reads, more explanatory in its language, like it's in its intention? Or
What
is
do you
it
mean by
just
explanatory?
like because it you said that kunyomi is explanation reading? So is it that verbs and adjectives, because they are kind of like they expound upon a sentence and like the what the
Hmm.
sentence means, is that like the reason?
Now, this is very interesting that you asked that because that is the kind of subject predicate relation which I look at. Basically, a predicate is any like additional information about the noun that is used. Like that's the broad version of it, right? So an
Mm-hmm.
adjective can be a predicate,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be, if it's a sentence like this apple is orange is a correct grammatical sentence, and the predicate here is orange, right? But it
Mm-hmm.
can be a number of other parts of speech. But basically, we will see that that being explanation reading is basically like them connecting a native Chinese kanji to a pre-existing Japanese word. So, for as we can see later, um, some like something that I encountered
Hi, we're
in
learning. Give me a
readings
second.
for the thesis, some um, like young, what was it? Wakaba, like young leaves.
Uh-huh.
That was written as two kanji.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's kanji only, usually it's considered kango, which is like the Chinese derived vocabulary specifically. So not just the characters or the writing, but the whole vocabulary being transferred over.
Okay.
But because that kanji is read as wakai, the adjective young,
Mm-hmm.
in what was it? So in kunyomi, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese reading, it is kind of like the in between version. where it's not really, it's not really kango, it's not really wago being the words of Japanese origin. So it's
Okay.
kind of in between. It
Okay.
doesn't really, there's no real correlation between the reading and the meaning of it, as we will see. It's
Mm.
usually that if it's a verb, it's usually of Japanese origin, and people usually use it because it has inflection. We'll see that later on.
Okay.
Uh, they use the kunyomi for the verbs. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So let's move on then to
Okay.
grammar and vocabulary.
All right, sounds good. And hi, the capital G, welcome in. We are learning today, just so you guys are aware. So if you are checking in, we are learning with Alaska Alex right now. If you like Cyberpunk 2077, we are learning about the Japanese language, just some basics before we hop into how it basically correlates to elements of the game. So if you're interested in that, fucking stick around, okay? All right, go ahead, please, Alex, take it away.
Yeah. So this is the sort of catch-all slide for the rest of the
Explain,
Japanese basics that we would need
if you will.
to understand the context of the phrases and the signs that we'll look at in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it's kind of like grammar and vocabulary. Um, so we have the honorific system being keigo,
Mm-hmm.
literally again like uh, honorable speech, where it is a whole system inside the language used to basically build social hierarchy. So
Okay.
probably people probably know like chan and kun and san
Uh-huh.
as
Uh-huh.
like Niki-san, Niki-kun, Niki-chan,
Yes.
as being different grades of the social hierarchy, right? The higher it is, the like the you get a different kind of suffix.
Okay.
So chan is the smallest one, kun is sort of like your inner circle, san is the neutral respective one when you talk to somebody who you don't really know. Sama is an interesting one. My suspicion here is that it is derived from the word for gods in Japanese. So the
Mm-hmm.
Shinto religion is what's the word? Uh, like it's kind of shamanistic in the sense that everything has a soul,
Okay.
and
Okay.
those different gods are called kami. Again, pretty common at this point word in the
Okay.
understanding of Japanese.
Thank you
And
for the follow.
when you
Mm.
talk to and you talk about a specific god, you put sama at the end. So like kami-sama.
Okay. Okay.
So like kami-sama is the gods.
Okay.
And there is a bit of an idiom, like a saying in Japan that okakusama wa kami-sama. So okakusama is like the guest, the client. So the saying goes that the client is the god, right? Like the customer, you can't say no to customers and that kind of stuff. I don't personally agree with
Mm.
it. A lot of people in Japan like agree,
Yeah.
don't really agree with it, but
Yeah.
still, that's how it was. And the last
Mm.
one, she, is the kind of neutral one in the sense that it is used like Mr. or yeah, Mr. specifically, like Mr. I don't know, Mr. Smith, Smith she is what can be used in
Mm.
or like uh president somebody like who's a good president,
Obama.
Obama. Yeah, Obama she,
Okay.
right. And like I said, with the customer one, right, you go o kyakusama, and so it has
Mm.
a suffix of that honorific system, but
Yeah.
it has a prefix system as well, which is
Mm-hmm.
O for, again, here we bring up the Wago versus Kango system, Wago
Okay.
being the Japanese origin words.
Right.
That
Okay.
uses O, and Go is for uh, Kango being the words of Chinese origin. So if a word
Mm.
is written, is pronounced using kanji, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like Well, we'll look at specific vocabulary later on, but as an example, gochiso-sama. So chiso in this case is like a feast. And it's probably people know that phrase. That's something that you say after having a good meal, after somebody serving you a meal.
Okay.
So go, because it is chiso, which are the onyomi readings of those kanji, which together make it a kango word. So we use
Mm-hmm.
go and not o. But an interesting kind of dilemma in the language currently is, what do you do with full-on loan words from like English?
Okay.
Like it's neither that nor that. Like how would you say? Would you go oradio or go radio? Like people don't really say that, partially because it's kind of weird like that, right? Because it's neither
Yeah.
that nor that. And so we have all those affixes for the vocabulary, but
I'm so sorry.
even broader, there is a lexical component to the honorific system, uh, being the different usages of words for, if you talk about yourself, if you talk about yourself to somebody who has a higher social status, or when
Mm-hmm.
you talk to this third person about somebody who is like the higher social status for you both. So here we have a word, a verb, suru, which is to do, which is very neutral.
Okay.
Uh, so like, let's run
Suru.
through the example of,
Ah, sorry. Go on.
oh, everything good there? All
Yeah,
good?
I accidentally clicked forward. I didn't mean to. I was trying to show people where we are right now.
Ah, no, 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 no problem.
Sorry, sorry.
No problem. So we
Hi,
have
Malden. Long
an
time no see,
example
indeed. It's good
of
to see you.
like tochakusuru, which means to arrive, right? Like the word, again, how it's structured is a bit weird, where
Okay.
tochaku is kind of technically a noun of arrival, again, kango here, and you add to do. So basically, you get to do plus a kango word, and you make a verb out of that noun, if you understand
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. So you have to arrive, meaning tochakusuru, um, and we have nasaru being the version of the verb to do, which you
Okay.
use when you talk about somebody else who is of higher social status than you. Like my
Oh.
director, my boss is arriving. You'll
Okay.
say tochaku nasarimasu
Huh. Okay.
instead of shimasu.
Okay.
Tochaku nasaru. And the opposite is itasu, which is when you talk about yourself to somebody who is of higher social status than you. So like the
Mm.
subject of the verb is you, but you have to talk to somebody who is of higher social status than you. For example, that is very common in like the service industry,
Okay.
like servers or hairdressers or whatever. Like you would say "tochaku itasu," "tochaku itashimasu,"
Can
and
you can you
you,
say the word? Can
yeah,
you
go
say
ahead.
the two words slower? The one that you use for like the honorific, and then the one that you use for yourself when speaking to somebody of a higher status.
Right, so it's nasaru.
Nasaru. Okay.
The regular one is suru,
Okay.
and the humble version, it is called
Mm.
the humble. Yeah, like you humble yourself in front of somebody else. That's itasu.
Itasu. And to go back one more time just to make sure I'm understanding it correctly. Is this a prefix, suffix, or is this just like this says elements of the honorific conversation?
This, so chan, kun, san, sama, and shi are all uh,
The suffix.
suffixes. So going
Okay.
after the names, and we
Mm-hmm.
have o and go being prefixes because they go
Okay.
in front of any other word that you need to make kind of like the honorific stuff, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So again, gochi so sama. So
Mm.
so is the word. You put go in front. You put sama at the end.
I see. I see. Okay. Okay.
And the whole reason I bring this whole system up is that in the game, when Takemura is talking about Hanako, especially in Japanese, he goes Hanako-sama.
Mm.
So like,
And
that's way up there.
and Hanako is the sister, correct?
Yeah, she's the sister,
Okay.
Hanako Arasaka.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Right. Something else that I wanted to bring up, I don't think it's necessarily like showed up. It necessarily didn't show up in the language of the game,
Mm-hmm.
but it has a weird. Japanese has a weird system of what is called benefactive verbs,
Mm.
being morau, which is pretty self-explanatory, is to receive, right? When you receive something.
Mm-hmm.
Ageru and kureru, both meaning like to give.
Okay.
So here it's about like your inner circle, sorry, your outer circle, and
Okay.
where the motivation to give comes from. So when it goes ageru, it's like from your circle to the outer circle, and kureru is from the outer circle to your inner circle. But it doesn't really matter here because what I really wanted to show up, what Japanese does very interestingly, is that it attaches those verbs to other verbs,
Mm-hmm.
making kind
Oh.
of a like a modal system. So here I have two circles as like a blank. So something o
Okay.
教えてもらえませんか? So here, 道を I left that out, sorry. So 道を教えて, michi meaning road, o meaning like the subject of the verb,
Okay.
教える literally meaning to explain, and
Okay.
morao meaning to receive, and here is moraeru, so like be able to receive. Like that's the potential form of it. So
Okay.
it's literally, and that whole thing is a negative, masen ka, and ka is the question at the end.
Okay.
So it's literally wrote, explain, able, receive, not question. So literally, couldn't I receive the
Oh.
explanation of the road instead of
Okay.
could you tell me the road and stuff?
Okay. Okay. Couldn't I receive the explanation of?
Matsuma, boku wa Matsuka desu. Matsuma desu. Sorry.
Okay.
We will get to know in a minute. Matsuma, you stick around.
Eee.
And one more thing, is Yojijukuko, which is here again, literally by kanji. You have the first one being four.
Uh-huh.
The next one is the one that we encountered already being a sign, right? A character. So four
Mm-hmm.
character. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
connection, compound, juku. And go
Mm-hmm.
meaning language or word. So it's four character compound words, which are usually idiomatic and mostly come from Chinese. In a
Okay.
way, the word Yujijukugo in itself is Yojijukugo because it's four specific kanji in a specific order, which have a separate meaning than just the sum of its parts, you know?
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Again, the reason
uh,
I bring that up is that, go ahead.
well, the only thing I was gonna ask is, and maybe I'm like not putting it all together because obviously I'm not as well versed as you in this, but is it kind of the conversation on what we said prior to, which is the sound reading versus the explanation reading? Is that what we're seeing here when you say that, where it's like they're all individuals, which is the like sound reading, but then they have the explanation element of them coming together to mean something? Is that what you mean? Or
So,
is that different?
uh, I think yeah, I think it's a bit different, and I think I misled you a little bit. So no matter the reading, a kanji still has its own meaning. You know,
Okay, okay,
even if
okay,
it's read phonetically, it still maintains the same meaning as it does if it were read as a verb. And we will
okay,
see that in the future.
Okay. Okay.
That's the point here, that it has a specific meaning. It corresponds to a specific abstract or an actual item,
Mm.
no matter what, no matter the reading.
Okay.
So
Cool.
here, let's get on to the slide number 4.
Voila.
Haisanki, where we have the both
Thank you,
hiragana and katakana
Coconut.
chart, and the what is it, like, how much is it? Hold
Yeah.
on. Yeah, like 50-ish kanji, like the basic kanji here. So it literally says Kihon kanji, being basic or fundamental kanji.
Mm-hmm.
So the most important here being the kanji for the numbers. All right, so in the kanji part, bottom, no, not bottom, left, top right. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. Then is 4. Then the weird one is 5, right?
Wait. Wait. Wait.
But
Wait. Wait.
the important thing is, hold on.
Alex, which one is, again, remind me, which one is the basic kanji, which one's not? And then walk me through that again. Is it the top that's basic or
Right,
the
so
bottom?
the whole the whole top, which has the readings, so a i, o, kakiko, sashi, so, etc.
Okay. Yep.
That is the alphabet. All of
Okay.
that is the alphabet. And
Okay.
kanji is everything at the bottom.
Okay. Okay.
So let's have a little like experiment, little test here.
Okay.
So the kanji for 1, it has its readings under it, right? In at the top in katakana, and at the bottom in hiragana, right? So
Okay.
why? So you have the readings here in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you try and read it, like the all the 3 readings for the kanji of 1, which is
Where
well, mhm.
where is that again? Is it what row?
That's the top row at the right.
At the right. So it's just the line?
Yes. So 1 line, 2 lines, and 3 lines are 1, 2, 3.
Okay. 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 Okay, so then if I use the alphabet, it would be, is it oh God, is it te? Uh um oh my gosh, I'm just trying to do pattern recognition. Where's another symbol that I can recognize? Oh, no. Oh no. Where's the other T T? Hold on one second, actually. My
So
dog.
it's,
Oh,
yeah,
she's
it's a
okay.
little small here. Hmm.
Yeah, I can't see the it's like a T and a smiley face. Where the hell is the other smiley face?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
Where,
Japanese has a bunch of little smiley faces. But
is
let's
it
try the hiragana one.
oh the here oh the one is that underneath it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, is it just he? Hi? He?
Yeah, it's he.
He? Uh uh he, and then the next one is, hold on. Nope, just give me a second.
Hmm. You want a hint?
Yeah, I do actually.
It's the t row.
Ta
The t one.
ta 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 ta. Oh, oh, yeah. Okay. So then is it hito? Hito?
Hito, that's right.
Yeah, I did that.
That's right. And
Oh yeah.
now let's look at the kanji, which is the middle row at the third one from the left.
The third one from the left. One, two, three.
Hmm.
Middle. The middle row you said? The like it looks like
Yeah.
a a, a roof.
What does it look like there? Yes, like a
It looks
roof,
like a
right?
roof. Yeah.
So
And I read
that is
the
actually the kanji for a person,
oh.
which kind of looks like a dude standing around without his arms, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that now. I can see that. And you want
And
me to
look
read
at
the
one
middle
of
row?
the hiragana readings
One
for
of
that
the.
kanji.
Okay. So that would. Oh, is it the same? Hito.
It is the same, yes.
Oh. And well, do you want me to look at a different one?
I mean, we can look at one more. Maybe the one to the right of that, which is like a square.
The square. Uh. Oh my Lanta. There's just so much. But wait, why is the one person and then the number one the same?
I mean, it's just a lot of, honestly, that is what is called a homonym, right? Like it's the
Oh,
same reading, the same sounding, or the same visually.
okay.
So it can either be like a homograph where it's written the same, which is more common in English, or like in Russian, where you go
Okay.
when you have zamok and zamok, which we don't like mark stresses in the words.
Okay.
So on paper they look the same. We
Yeah.
have again homophones which sound the same. So here we have hito and hito being
Mm-hmm.
one person,
Hito? Hito?
which just
Okay.
sound the same, which are
Okay.
read the same.
Okay, cool. Okay, okay. And then the one next to it that you said, it looks like it is koyu or ko? Koyu?
Yeah, it's cool. The
Ko.
again here the katakana reading is cool. And what
Ko.
about the hiragana reading?
Uh, is that the one underneath it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that is gonna be a solid coup. And then I'm looking for the number 5, or it looks like 5. Wait,
Hmm.
let me see. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, is it oh, that's not it.
It's Taro
Cool.
again, by the way.
Okay, thank you. Cool. Oh, is it cool and then chi?
Kuchi, right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think about that, but it
Yeah, it's
is.
okay. Yeah.
Uh,
It's okay. That's
okay.
the word though. That's the
So this is
word.
mouth,
Okay.
right? And as you can see here, like it is supposed to be the combination of like the whole alphabet system. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be the combination of I, E, O, A, O, so the
Okay.
vowels with specific consonants in front of it. So k,
Oh.
s, t, n, etc.
Oh.
But
Okay.
there are some exceptions,
Okay.
right? So we have a, I, O, E, O, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Kaki, Kukeko,
Mm-hmm.
all good so far. And we have
Yep.
sa, shi, su,
Mm.
se, so. So it's
Uh-huh.
she and not si.
Ah,
And
she.
and the t, so like yeah, it's a bit of a, it's even softer, right? Like
Oh, she. Okay.
yeah, like almost whispery kind of stuff,
Ooh,
right?
okay.
And the ta one is completely like messed up. So you have ta, chi,
Uh-huh.
tsu,
Uh-huh.
teto.
Okay.
And chi and tsu will show up much more often because they use for like or like orthographic reasons.
Okay.
We'll get into that later as well.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, and so we have nani no no no, also completely fine. Then we have
Mm.
ha, hi, fu, he ho.
Mm.
Not
Mm-hmm.
not ha hi hu, he ho,
Mm.
but fu. And mami mo
Interesting.
mo is also fine.
Okay.
And if any Metal Gear Solid fans are here, we have Radiruredo, uh, Lali Lulelo, as they say. So yeah, as you might notice, L is not present. There is
Yeah.
only a D, which
Yeah.
is kind of the in between of R, L,
Uh-huh.
and a bit of
Yeah.
a D because it's very dental. So it's a
Okay.
da,
Da.
Radiruredo,
Da
right?
dee do de do. Okay.
And because of the way it is presented here, you would never have a Japanese word end in a consonant except for N. But that N at the end, so top left,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
very nasal. So it's very
Mm.
nasal. So
Mm.
it either
Mm.
ends in
Mm.
a vowel or a nasal N, without exception.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
Because this whole thing is like a syllabary, right? So it's an alphabet for syllables, for complete syllables only.
Mm.
And when we look at location names, that would pop up very apparently.
Okay.
Okay,
Next slide.
okay, good. Yeah, let's move on.
Let's do it.
And very quickly here we have the sort of the etymology, the origins of hiragana, the hiragana script being originally the shorthand version for different kanji. So the reason that happened is back in like ancient medieval Japan, a lot of the aristocracy were like women who would like write diaries and letters to each other, and over time, again they would use the shorthand version of specific kanji, which then would develop into this hiragana system, which then led to this perception of hiragana being more feminine because women were the ones
Mm.
who would originally write with it.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to the next slide, we have katakana being specific radicals, so parts of a full kanji
Mm-hmm.
being used on its own to have a specific, to correspond to a specific sound this time. So not meaning, no meaning in hiragana or katakana, is just the phonetics of that specific kanji.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And again, as hiragana is considered, as viewed as feminine, katakana is used as masculine. And there is a
Yeah.
book which is like two diaries of the husband and wife, and to differentiate between those. The husband's one is written all in katakana, and the wife's one is written all in hiragana.
I want to
And
ask
now,
chat
yeah, go
really
ahead.
quickly. I want to ask chat based on like these two pictures, what is like the distinguishing feature between them that you guys can see if anybody's in chat like watching? Um like between this. Is it you said it's katakana and what was the other one?
Hiragana.
Hiragana. So this is hiragana and this is katakana. And hiragana was said to be more of like a feminine, has a like feminine kind of tie to it
A
versus katakana,
connotation, yeah.
yeah, connotation versus katakana, which has a more masculine connotation. And it's okay if like everybody's kind of lurking or whatever, but I just thought it'd be an interesting thing to kind of like figure out if people can sort of see or have like a almost like an instinctual
Mhm.
thought based on what they're like viewing. Um, but yeah, basically, from my understanding, and Alex, please correct me if I'm wrong, it's the like, oh, Krypton has one. Katakana seems to have more angular and vertical and horizontal lines versus the curves of hiragana.
Right, okay. And what would you say, Nikki?
Yeah, I would agree. I think that for me, it is, I think it's the like the rounded elements of the characters in hiragana versus the very sharp and angular characters
Yeah,
of
like the
katakana.
flowiness of it, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I agree. I agree with
Hmm.
Krypton. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that is also one of the parts that is also brought up a lot, is that hiragana is more flowy, kind of curvy and feminine, right? That's one of the like it's a bit of a chicken of an egg and an egg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I were to say that katakana is feminine and hiragana is masculine, maybe you could argue that, oh, well, basically you would try to come up with a reason why that's the case. Or
Yeah.
maybe we can go full linguistics and say it's one of those Bubakiki hypotheses. You know about that one?
No, I don't.
So it was a linguistics experiment, and I don't remember specifically when. I'll say maybe the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
where a bunch of people, of native speakers of different languages, were showed two different like shapes. One is more spiky and angular, and
Mm-hmm.
one is more flowy and kind of rounded. And they were told to like to correspond each shape to each word. The two
Mm-hmm.
words being Buba and Kiki. So you, Nikki, would correspond what shape to what word?
I mean, booba gives me like because of just I think about the B shapes in the English language of booba, I think rounded, and then kiki, I think sharp because
Right.
of like how my like even my mouth has to like use the word kiki versus
Yes.
booba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is something that specific correlation where Booba is the rounded one and Kiki is the sharper one
Mm-hmm.
is like I think it was seen across like 70% of the people of the correspondence. Like it's very common for one reason or another. And again,
Yeah.
I think in Turkish and Chinese, it was the case where Kiki is there's a similar sounding word which means something round or cute or like close to you. So something that would motivate that kind of reading, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 How interesting.
So yeah, something like that. Yeah, very, very peculiar.
Yeah.
And that would be in terms of like depending on how you look at it, it can be either contrasted linguistics, where you look at systems and how they correlate between languages,
Yeah.
or sorry, or depending on the task which you try to achieve through those tests. Like if you are looking for relations between languages, like genealogically, that would be
Mm-hmm.
comparative linguistics. So comparative
Yeah.
linguistics is the field that is striking down the commonalities, the language trees, and the relations between languages.
And that's so fun because that is an element, or
And
that's like
now,
almost like an avenue
yeah,
that somebody can take with anthropology. But please continue.
yes, like cultural um, genealogy, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now, finally, with at the slide number 7, we can get into cyberpunk specific vocabulary.
Woo! Cyberpunk!
That's right. So,
Yeah.
as we had with
April,
she
please.
and sun and sama,
Uh-huh.
there are a bunch of different prefixes that you can use in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Sha being one of those, which corresponds to a company. So Arasaka is Arasaka Corporation or Arasaka
Mm-hmm.
Company. And here we can see that it can be written in, that's straight from the Japanese wiki for Cyberpunk. So it can be written as either Arasaka with katakana or
Ah.
using the kanji for Arasaka, because Arasaka is an actual surname,
Yeah.
meaning Ara, again, Arai is the full adjective of Raf, as in like non-productive, like
Mm-hmm.
untreated, and or
Mm-hmm.
wild, as in wild onions, for example, like
Mm-hmm.
wild vegetables. And Saka meaning hill. And I've when we discussed this originally, I've uh, I've put Nikki in a tricky situation, asking her what other big Japanese city she would know which has Saka in its name. Maybe
I know.
chat would help us.
I just snorted. That was so funny. Yeah. What is another Japanese city that has the word Saka in it? Guys, I could not figure this out to save my
Yeah,
life. Anybody. I know we're on a bit of a delay though, so it's okay. I mean, take your
yeah,
time. Don't cheat, because I couldn't. Oh, yikes! Ram
yeah,
got it.
Ram.
That's I didn't. I did. It's not. I know it. Okay. I just forgot.
Right, and so with Arasaka vaguely meaning like rough or wild hill,
Mm-hmm.
Osaka written as big and hill means well big hill,
Yeah.
right? Uh, so the more you know, Nikki, there is a city called Osaka out there.
Thank you. Yeah. The more you know.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But yeah, that's super interesting. For those of you who have played Cyberpunk 2077, like this is now like I don't know if you learned this whenever you were playing it, but now you know.
And this is being called after the surname of the founder is a very common Japanese practice for corporations, specifically for zaibatsu. What a zaibatsu is, we will learn at the end of the presentation. It's
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
basically
mm-hmm.
a specific type of corporations in Japan and later on in Korea. I think in China at some point too, but I'm not sure. Let's move on to the other corporation name,
Let's do
being
it.
Kiroshi.
Yee. We're here when you're ready.
Right. So, all right. So we have Kiroshi Optics uh, being fully here is transliterated. So it's written as it is written in another language in katakana being Kiroshi Optics, right? Kiroshi Optics,
Okay.
which I found from a old Japanese forum. Apparently, in some way, um, is shortened from Kiroshiya. So Kiro plus Shia. Shia meaning a field of vision, and
Mm-hmm.
Kiro is a very funny abbreviation because just it is so context dependent that it
Mm-hmm.
can mean either kilogram or kilometer.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So like here, obviously it's kilometer being like
Mm-hmm.
the metaphorical kilometer wide field of vision. So
Mm-hmm.
kiroshi. So it's the optics that allow you the field of vision of a kilometer wide and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. And that makes sense for it being
Uh,
an
and
optic
again here,
situation.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
here
Mm-hmm.
again we see that kiro is written in katakana because katakana, I think I forgot to mention that, is used for loan wars. And
Mm.
Shia is written in kanji because it is a kango, a word that came from China originally.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Very cool.
And now let's move on to the part that actually inspired this whole lesson, specifically
Yee.
street signs.
Okay, Ram, please. Yeah, we're here. Well, street signs. I think we're on names and surnames.
Oh, that's my bad.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
that
good.
also inspired it. I misclicked on my end. Sorry.
It's
So I
okay. It's
have
okay.
Arasaka. Yeah. So I have Arasaka family names.
Uh-huh.
There is Hanako Arasaka that we already mentioned.
Hmm.
There is in English he's Saburo Arasaka, right, and
Hmm.
Yorinobu Arasaka.
Yep.
With Saburo being Arasaka Saburo.
Hmm.
Again, the tradition being that you write the surname first and the first name second,
Okay.
the given name second. So have Arasaka Saburo, have Arasaka Hanako, have
Hmm.
Arasaka Yorinobu.
Yep.
So let's start off at the top with Saburo with the emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace. So Saburo is written with two kanji. Uh, the third one, right, overall. So
Mm-hmm.
Arasaka, the third one there. What is it, Nikki?
Is that the 3 lines?
How would you describe it? Exactly. It's three lines, meaning three. One of the readings being sun, right? So sa,
We learned that
that's
earlier,
where
guys.
the Saburo comes from. Yeah, we saw it earlier. And the second kanji in that, the last one, is uh, something that shows up in Japanese names a lot, and that is ro, literally meaning the sun,
Mm.
son, and that is specifically used in more or less traditional Japanese names. So there is a ruling of how you would form a name using saburo, where that goes at the end. And
Mm-hmm.
here it is like an order. So Saburo is the third son, implying through his name that he is at least the third sibling in a family. Or I think I've tried to look that up, Nikki, honestly, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it means that he's the third son. Like there
Okay.
are two
Okay.
other brothers that he has.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
that was something that was kind of interesting for me, that this perception of Saburo, of him having siblings,
Mm-hmm.
is not something that you get from the game. There's
Mm-hmm.
not something mentioned on his Wikipedia page, and that is purely something that you get to know if you know Japanese and you can read the name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It is. It is.
And
Yeah.
right, and a similar naming tradition as there is one for sons, there is one for daughters,
Mm.
being ko at the end, so Hanako,
Cool.
Arasaka. But that
Ah.
kanji by itself just means kid or child.
Okay.
So she is the flower child. And remember
Mm.
that her what was it? Her autobiography was something like the flower of silence.
Oh yeah.
And that's probably where they get the flower from, her name.
Ah. Interesting.
And again, I did a little digging, and apparently, Ko being a female only, uh, like generally, uh, only came around the Major Restoration period, which is like the late 19th century, and
Mm.
traditionally it was only used inside of the imperial family.
Mm.
So you wouldn't see of me a lot of core of the non-aristocratic like background.
Oh,
There's
interesting.
also me, which is also very common. So you can see female names ending in ko or in mi, right? So two different kanji used there. And
And
lastly, yeah, go ahead.
sorry, just one question for you. Does that like match up in the game as well? Like if that language, like that type of language, like ko, is used in a specific time period, does that match with Hanako's age in the game? Like was she born in the 19th century?
Oh no, no, no.
Okay, so it's different. Okay.
It's like she was born in 20th century, right? Because it's 2077, like all the way towards the end of the 21st century. And she's like
Yeah.
in her 70s, right? So,
Okay.
so
Okay.
technically, Hanako's a 90s kid, y'all.
Hanako's a 90s kid. You heard it here first. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
that checks out. Anyways, we have the last one being Yorinobu Arasaka.
Hmm.
Here, Yorinobu again is a fairly common name. Like you will see that name here and there, which
Uh-huh.
kind of means like the trust proclaimer. So I have two kanji Yorinobu, both
Hmm.
being the kunyomi, the Japanese readings, but they are put together, which is kind of like a kango, but
Mm.
not really. So you know what I mean? It gets a little messed up
Yeah.
with names here, and they again the meaning is usually the same for kanji, no matter what reading it has, outside of specific like set in stone, what's the word?
Like definitions?
Yeah, like definitions and stuff.
Okay.
So, for example, Tayoru, the first kanji in Yorinobu,
Mm-hmm.
which is like Yoru, Tayoru, Yori, right? So
Mm.
they just take parts of the reading of the kanji.
Yeah.
That means to rely on, and Noberu, Nobu, Noberu
Oh.
is to express, right? So it's the
Oh.
like the trust proclaimer, like the one who expresses trust or like reliance. So it's very like a
Mm.
lot of different ways to interpret those specific readings because they have very minute differences in how they are used sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And uh, something that I wanted to bring out, which I thought of right now, the way they use readings here to write down names, right? So they kind of just use something that kind of sounds like what you want to read, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
have Yorinobu being the first part, Yori, coming from Tayoru, where they have the full kanji and they only take a part of the reading.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually how they write down different taboo words, for example. Like, let's look at Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yakuza, uh, one of the common ways to write Yakuza
Yeah.
is to write 893 because
Oh.
8, uh, because the numerals have different readings in, again, the kunyomi and onyomi readings, so the Japanese
Mm-hmm.
and Chinese ones. And the Japanese reading for 8 is yatsu. So they take the first ya,
Okay.
they then it's 9, and the Chinese reading for 9 is Q, which they kind of merge into Ku,
Mm-hmm.
and the Chinese reading for 3 is San, from which they only take the sa, the first syllable,
Mm-hmm.
and they make it into za. So Yakuza is written in numerals, but only partially so. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. And why is it that they have the word and then they write it in like the numerals, or is it that they use the numerals to create the word? Like they use the numbers to create the word, they use something else to create the word. Like why did they do
Yeah,
that?
originally it didn't have to be it didn't originally use the numerals to create the word. It was created through different means, but that
Mm.
numeral reading is specifically like to talk about Yakuza in case
Oh.
of so kind of like euphemistic,
Okay.
using
Okay.
something instead of the actual thing.
Yes, that makes sense. Oh, interesting. Okay.
And again, you can something that I said previously was thank you, right? Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. But again, you can write 3-9 in Japanese, and that would mean thank you because san
Oh.
plus q, so thank you. There's a lot of that kind of wordplay with Japanese
Yeah.
and English.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, interesting. That's actually very interesting. And it sort of brings context to those moments where I might have seen a conversation with somebody who maybe speaks Japanese and they use
Hmm.
letters versus, or pardon me, numbers versus um, letters. That's just, yeah, super interesting.
Yeah, and one thing is that when you think about it, numerals,
Mm-hmm.
numbers are logographic. They are
Mm-hmm.
not letters. They do not correspond to a specific sound, which is why they are so universal. Because they correspond when you write one, you don't mean one, right? One, not
Mm-hmm.
phonetically, but actually the abstract of one thing, the abstract meaning of one thing, of two things, three things, etc.
Mm. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
that is one of the things why maths is like the universal language to some people, right? It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how you talk about it because you can understand it either way. So it's
Yeah.
like there's overlap there.
Yeah. Okay.
But coming back um, to Cyberpunk
Mm-hmm.
and the next slide being miscellaneous names, right?
Hell
I
yeah.
wanted to specifically look at names. One is Nikki,
Whee!
which is a Japanese word. Yeah, that's her. There is a Japanese word that is pronounced as Nikki, uh, written in first kanji read as Nichi,
Mm-hmm.
day, and ki being like recordings or chronicles. So daily chronicles means diary.
That is so
Um,
cool.
yeah, there it is. Awesome. And obviously the one and only uh, DILF of Cyberpunk 2077, Takemura, uh, being Takemura Goro. Again, Takemura, Take meaning bamboo,
Uh-huh.
Mura meaning village, so a bamboo village. Also very common last name. And Goro here, written almost the same as Saburo, but instead of san, three, it being
Mm-hmm.
five, or Go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Goro, meaning again here we have this same concept of we get a bit of an additional information about the character from his name because we understand it in his native language,
Mm-hmm.
meaning he's the fifth son in the big family. And when we get to learn him about like a little bit better over the course of the game, we do learn some parts about his family, but not to that extent. Like that is just one additional thing.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, let me try and gather it in my brain. So, do you do you think that the use of this like this information where it's like Bamboo Village and then it's Fifth Son, like in the Japanese culture, people who use the Japanese language, is it commonplace to always make like choose a name for a child that is reflective of their experience or their families or whatever? Or is that just something that you see in the game? Because for context, I think about with Americans where we will find a name, on a website or whatever, and we're like, oh, I like the way Billy sounds, and we
Hmm.
might not even think about the like what it might mean. So is that like, do you know that information?
Um, Specifically, I think with naming, there is a bit of a like a comedic story that's tied to it. But
Mm.
there is this religious side to it where sometimes people will go to like the Buddhist monasteries to ask the monks about, oh, what names are the fortunate ones in this season, or like
Oh,
in general, they would base their naming of their kid based off of what names are considered fortunate by the Buddhist religion. So
right.
it's kind of like we have, the traditional Christian derived names like, again, Alex, Alexander,
Mm.
Michael, Jonah, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, there are some names which are like Buddhism related. And the
Okay.
story that I heard, and what I was meaning is about the long ass name that people even put in anime as a joke. So
Uh-huh.
the story goes that a family was having a baby, and they went to a Buddhist monastery to ask the monk for a name, right? A fortunate name, the one that
Mhm.
brings good fortune. And they got a huge list of the names which mean different things, but all good
Mhm.
things, right? So he would have a good home, a good family, he would eat well, whatever, whatever. And they were very indecisive. So they went like, what if we just name him all the names? So the
Oh
poor
God.
name got named Jigimi Goku no Suriki Kaiji Sungyo Sugin Matsu Oraimas Kuramas Kunarto Pinoro Nino Sumtokoro Yabrakois no Borakois Bible no Shurigan Shurigan no Gurinda Gurindana Pupkina Pupnano Tokume no Chosuke.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they that is actually something they played around with. That's a very old story, but they played
Uh,
around with it in like Full Metal Alchemist, for example.
oh, did they really? When?
Yeah, I don't know specifically, but there's a very like viral um viral clip of it where like,
Okay.
oh, you don't even know my true name. Well, my actual name is Jugu
Oh,
Jugu Jugu, and so on and so forth.
I
And
see,
the
I
other
see.
person goes, "Oh well, what coincidence! My name is also Jugu Jugu Jugu," and so on.
Yeah.
And like, but originally that is from like folklore, so they were not the
Mm.
ones who came up with it.
Yeah, yeah. How silly.
Right. So that's one part of the naming tradition here.
Yeah.
That again, when it comes to, for example, like the LGBT side of things, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how common it would be for somebody if they were to change their name, like to change their name from Ro to Ko, for example,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
using those traditional gender means
Mm.
to like to what's the right word? Well, to transition, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's the case yet, but
Okay.
that might be.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
let's move on to the street signs that I
Yeah.
spoiled for myself as well.
Here we are.
So we have three signs here, which I wanted to look at specifically because those are, well, those are kind of assets, right, in the game, and those
Yeah.
are the very, very, very common ones. So the top one is the easiest one. It
Mm.
is I implanto. So I, literally I, implant, which is either,
Mm.
which I would assume is the ad for Kiroshi, right?
Yeah.
And I think you see that around their logos as well. And that is one thing that I found a bit weird when I started digging into that, is that I impranto is not something that a Japanese person would say
Mm-hmm.
or they would use to describe the eye implant.
Okay.
So, like again, that weird old Japanese website when talking about Kiroshi Optics,
Mm.
they were talking about them as being a manufacturer of Shikakuki no Cyberware. Right, that's the one in
Mm.
the in brackets after that. So
Yeah.
Shikakuki actually meaning the like the sight system, like the one of the senses. So it is the cyberware for the sense of sight, and not eye implanto. Again, implant is a very common loan word, and even in Japanese, but eye definitely isn't. And it might be one of the like meta narratives where, oh, by
Mm.
the year 2070, English has influenced Japanese in that way that they got the loan word for I in there for some reason, right? Or
Mm.
one other thing that we will see that I will bring up is that katakana just kind of looks cool
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
again so angular and
Yeah.
futuristic and
Yeah.
bizarre to the Western perception of things. Like
Yes. Yes.
it is this idea that you can see something being advertised and on a neon sign, but you can't read it,
Yeah.
and that kind of like add mystery to it.
Yes. 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 I can.
And the
I
other
get the
sign,
impression.
yeah,
No, I was just saying,
hmm
like, I know that feeling because I have felt that when I've looked at signs in that very same context. So
right, okay. Have you been to Japan? Okay,
never in my life. I
no,
want to. I would desperately love to, but yeah, I have never been.
okay.
Have you?
Well, yeah, I was on a 8 months exchange program there
Well, yeah, I was just,
during
just
COVID.
did wanted you to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I kind of forgot to mention that I was on a 8 months exchange program in the Tokyo University of Foreign Studies and went up Mount Fuji, right, when all the tourists were out of the country because of COVID. And the
That's so
country was
cool.
only open for a month and a half.
Yeah. Holy shit. That's so
I got
cool.
my visa a week before the flight. That's how tight it
Mm.
was.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, your whole life would have been different if you hadn't have done that.
Yeah,
Holy
I was
shit.
able to like based off of my visa, I was able to stay there for another like 4 months. And again, that's another story. Like, how
Yeah.
would my life be if I didn't go back, if I hadn't come back at the earliest and actually
Mm.
stayed there for extra 4 months? Oh well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, coming back to Night City, the other sign that we see a lot of is Sonomede Mirayo, right? So sono is that or those, which is a pre-noun adjectival,
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's how I say it, which brings up a whole system, again, a language system of like directional pronouns, like here, there, stuff like that.
Okay.
So sono is talking about something that is specifically close to the listener. So not
Okay.
the speaker, but the listener. Like
Okay.
if I say sono mic to you, I mean specifically your Nikki's microphone.
Okay. Okay.
When I say kono, that is the opposite. That is about something that is close to the speaker, to me. Like
Oh, okay.
um I don't know, kono mouse and stuff. Like
Yeah.
this mouse that I have.
Okay.
And then there is, in this case, ano, which is when it's either equally distant from both of you, like in the middle,
Oh.
or
Mm-hmm.
equally far away from the both of you.
Oh, okay.
Again, here is not present, but again,
Right.
through Sono, I wanted to bring up the whole system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or like ano is also used as a like a filler word when you think about something. Like in English, you go well, or like in Japanese, you go
Oh.
ano, ano,
Oh.
you
That
go
is super
etto.
cool. Super, super, super cool.
Right.
Simon, we
Um,
are currently going over Alex is teaching us a little bit of Japanese through the lens and context of Cyberpunk 2077. 2077, yes.
mhm,
And so we're just kind of going over some of the, like, at the moment, we're looking at the street signs, the common street signs that you might find in the game itself in Night City, and then going over just the like the what they mean and like breaking them down and then just adding more context to them. So I'm not necessarily learning Japanese, but Alex, who is currently speaking, is knows Japanese and is invested in the language and has like so much information to share with us. So that's why we're kind of going over
mhm.
it, Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a social Sunday with a bit of a twist.
Yeah, with the freaking linguist over here.
I'm linguistinia. Whatever. Okay. Right. So getting back into this stuff. So we have
Yeah.
sono, which is again the modifier for the noun, and the
Mm,
noun here is me, which is the eyes, and
okay.
that, which is written in hiragana because it is the part of the grammar here. So the grammar is
Oh.
only written in hiragana. That is also one of the parts, like one of the differentiating things about hiragana, um, as opposed to other writing systems of the language. So
Okay.
de here is a particle which indicates the means of actions or
Mm,
action.
okay.
Uh, so me de, so with your eyes, with those eyes, right?
Mm.
With the just out of sono me de, we understand that that is we understand enough meaning to be able to put together that with those eyes, like of yours, right?
Mhm.
Because it's
Mhm.
about the something that is close to the listener. So through the or with by the listener's eyes.
Yes.
And the last one is mirai o. So mirai is the one written in kanji is future
Mm-hmm.
plus o, again written in hiragana, is what indicates the direct object of a verb.
Okay.
But Nikki, I want to ask you something.
Okay.
What is missing here?
In the Oh, is this a grammar question? Oh, wait. I don't know. A punctuation?
Well, one, yes, Japanese doesn't have any punctuation, but
Okay, fair
let's
enough.
look at what we have here. So we have the um, me, eyes, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
one part, one noun, one part of the whole sentence. We
Yeah.
have future as another part of the sentence, which is the direct subject here, the direct
Okay.
object, sorry. So we can suspect that me is the subject here. We have the subject, we have the object, but we don't have something else. What is it?
I have no idea, Alex.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
Walk me through it. Hold my
So let's,
hand.
yeah. So they indicates means of action, like through which you do some action later
Okay.
on. Like I don't know, hold an apple with your hand.
Okay.
Uh, and we have a particle that indicates the direct object for a verb here, like mirai o, like again, to eat an apple.
Okay.
Ringo, apple, o, ringo o,
Mm-hmm.
taberu. Taberu is eat, and to eat an apple.
Okay.
Where's the verb though?
Oh. Something
This
means
sign
of
doesn't have a verb,
Yeah. But
but
okay.
yeah, go ahead.
No, 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 you go.
So the cool thing is that because of how languages in general work, they are very much convey the same information several times where it's
Mm-hmm.
not needed. And here, because of how grammar heavy Japanese is compared to English for its nouns and its subject and objects, like to eat an apple, uh, it doesn't really have cases like that, right? So it doesn't really tag or indicate when something is a means of action or a direct object of something. There's not much flexion in that sense in the nouns in English.
Okay.
But here, because Japanese does have that, so we know that eyes are the means of action here,
Okay.
and the future is the direct object of a verb here. We
Mm-hmm.
can estimate, we can predict what the verb would be here. So my assumption has always been that here it's sonome de mirai o miru. Miru is to see. So to see the
Ah.
future through your eyes.
Okay. 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 And that is effectively you like adding a word in to create that assumption, right?
Yes, because that is the most common. Well, one, it's about um, what words, what verbs specifically can use what particles,
Okay.
and like, and again, through the meaning of eye, it's
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of stuff that you can do through eyes,
Right,
right?
right, right, right.
And
Okay.
miru has it has the valency, right? The ability to attach something with the when it's marked by a particle when the direct object, right? So
Okay.
verb the verb to see is able to have direct objects, like to see the sun, to see the sky,
Yeah.
to see this mouse, etc. This apple,
Okay.
this future in this case.
Okay, that makes sense. That
Right.
that is I think that touches on the idea that language helps you to think differently about life and like how you think like how you're going to think differently about words and sentences and what people say and the meanings because like if you're having to make a lot of assumptions, like that's just I think that's a really
Hmm.
interesting element of the psychology behind language, but yeah.
Well, that's yeah, and that's something that I would like to, in my work specifically, to look more closely to, because what you talk about, like linguistic like relativity, right,
Mhm.
or language relativity,
Right.
has always been one bit of a like a touchy subject,
Mhm.
because like it can be perceived as borderline xenophobic at times. Like, uh, oh, those people don't have a word for it, so they are not as developed as we are because we have that the word for it and they don't. So their in their imagination they were not able to create that concept, or the other way around. Oh, those
Mm.
people only have like that. The famous example being that the Eskimo people have 50 words for different kinds of snow. So that's becoming kind of like predeterministic for their culture, that their
Mhm.
culture has to be that way because they have that many words for it and stuff,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that I don't fully agree with.
Yeah.
But there's syntax side of it, where what is common and what is grammatical for your language uh, sort of denotates how you structure sentences in general.
Mhm.
And what you see as more important is something that I would like to look at in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That is very interesting.
Because yeah,
Prioritization of
because
language.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because a lot of previous contrastive research has been on the again lexicon, so the
Mm.
vocabulary,
Yes.
and I want to move past that into syntax and the sentence structure. That's why I look
Yeah.
at subject predicate relations specifically. And the last sign that we see a lot in the
Mhm.
game, so coming back to it, is
Yes.
Penka Muso, the four kanji at the bottom,
Yeah.
right? That's why I brought up that four character compound words, which are
Mm.
called what, Nikki?
They are called I cannot remember, Alex. We just got a raid, so I got very distracted. I'm so sorry. Go on
Not
though.
fair enough. Uh, the Yojijukugo words,
Yoji
compound
Yukuo
words. So
compounds.
here we
Yes.
have four kanji, which from left to right mean the sky, so like the heavens, for example.
Mm.
Uh, under, so under
Mhm.
skies, under
Mhm.
heaven. No, we will see that one again later on.
Ooh.
And pair, or um like that kanji plus kid means twins. So like a
Okay.
pair, or like a pair mostly,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see
or
it.
like a peer in this case, right? So literally that phrase that phrase means, so under heaven no pair, right? Literally.
Ooh.
And that is
Okay.
used as this that is used when describing something as peerless or having no equals to it, right?
Okay. So it's being this is almost like a sign that would be used for like this is the best of whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it is
Okay.
again because Yuchijuku are like it's very literary language. I don't
Mhm.
think it is as common to see it as a street sign.
Okay. Okay. I like
Yeah, and
the
that is why.
sorry, I was just saying I like the character for no. I think that that's very interesting.
Yeah, I like that one as well.
Mhm.
Hmm. One of the it is a very common thing that you get asked in like Japanese class.
Mhm.
Like you have the what is called a what the fuck is called? Like you have a self. 自己紹介. Okay, so
Mm,
self presentation, like you talk about yourself.
yeah.
And one of the questions there, very common one, is what is your favorite kanji? Like the aesthetics of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun question.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is just nice to look at it.
Now,
Hell yeah.
for me personally, there is a. I will type it in chat.
Yeah.
Hold on.
If you have a favorite kanji in chat,
Body.
type yours in as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Personally, that probably would be mine.
Dude,
That is
what?
body. That is like the literary kanji for we, or like for
Huh?
me,
Uh-huh.
like the pronoun, the personal pronoun, um, first person pronoun. And personally, I just like it because it's a very cute word order, like stroke
Oh.
order in there.
Mm,
Like it's very non-obvious. You kind of basically flow all around the square there, like the square that you would put kanji in.
yeah.
Like it starts from top left, then goes to the right, then to the bottom, then back up to like top right, etc. It's just a very fun kanji to write.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say and or ask, like reading kanji, understanding kanji, and then writing kanji are all three like very, isn't it like very challenging to like master all of them because the characters can be very difficult to like not like confuse for other characters if you don't write it appropriately
Um,
with the
I mean,
strokes, I
that's one
guess.
thing that's one thing, one comment that I don't agree with
Okay.
when it's brought up, specifically when we blow it out of proportions with like,
Mm.
oh, those kanji. It's like it's such a system where if you put one stroke incorrectly, it has a completely different meaning, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is something that I hear a lot.
Yeah.
But
That is also something I've heard. That's
but
why I was, checking in.
yeah. But imagine like a cursive A with a bit of a tail to it, and an
Mm-hmm.
O. They kind of look the same, but they are
Mm-hmm.
different in just one stroke.
Yeah.
So
True.
that's kind of the same here, right? But
Yeah.
here, again, because of the radicals, um, it's like parts of kanji,
Mm-hmm.
um, it is not common to make a mistake like that,
Okay.
right? Like
Okay.
if you remember how to write 127, for example, like a full number, it's not like you would by mistake write 187,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
That makes sense. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you have the concept for the whole thing, and then you just write it out of the elements of it, which you have
Mm-hmm.
the understanding of. And
Yes.
like a good
Okay.
example of a radical would be that I have a good example right here. I have a big like a poster of seasonal fish,
Mm-hmm.
because again, all food in Japanese is seasonal,
Yeah.
specifically in like cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
And all the different fish that you could have, like herring and trout, or sardines and octopus even, or prawns, it all has a radical of fish, which in
Okay.
itself has like a reading of sakana being fish. That one.
Okay. Oh, I love it. It's so cute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very fun. Okay.
Right. And coming back to science,
Yeah.
we have three more that I wanted to look at,
Let's do it. Next slide.
which also have yeah, yeah, yeah. Also have different stuff to look at.
Hell yeah.
Right. So we have the sign with the 24, which is uh, 20よ時間営業. So 24 is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
時間 literally means time, or in this case, hours.
Okay.
And 営業 is business or operations. So
Okay.
like a 24 service spot. or whatever that is. But something interesting that I wanted to point out is that again, Jigane Yo is a set amount of hours of which we are in service, in this case 24-hour service.
Yep.
But when you flip those two around, you get business hours.
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. Which if in that
So
case,
like,
if you flip it, then it obviously changes the entire meaning.
yeah. Well, in English too, right? You can say
Yeah.
24-hour business, or like, and you change the words around, you get business hours
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How
or
interesting.
service
I like
hours.
that.
And one other thing that I looked into is that the word for like the wiki page for 24/7 service
Mm-hmm.
in Japanese is again 24 jikan, 24
Mm-hmm.
hours,
Mm-hmm.
nenju, the first kanji in that one being nen, which is year,
Okay.
ju, which is chu, which is middle,
Mm-hmm.
or in this case throughout. Like you can have nenju, which is all year, or like ichinichiju, ichinichi being one day, and
Uh-huh.
ju like all throughout the day. And then we have again your the kanji that you liked, mu in this case, or no,
Uh-huh.
and q being rest. So literally
Ah.
24/7 service is 24 24 hours all year, no breaks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what is it called? And I might be just silly, but what is it called whenever you take the literal meaning? I guess it's just an interpretation, right? Whenever you take the literal meaning and then you turn, like, there's a literal meaning, but then there's the, like, actual way that it is understood by people who speak the language. What is that? Is there like a term for that?
Well, I guess what you described is idiomatic meaning, right? When
Okay.
when you like the sums of the words of the parts of the phrase,
Mm,
the full meaning is not completely derived from what you're seeing.
okay.
But here it's a bit different, right?
Okay.
Because again, it might be just the descriptive way to like make people realize how what 24/7 means.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like in English, you would be able to describe 24-hour service, 24/7 service as a 24 the service that is 24 hours all through the year without any breaks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But as with the previous one, right, Tenkan saw
Mm-hmm.
the sky under no pair thing,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's a case where you can derive the meaning out of its parts, but the whole having a set meaning, which doesn't require making it into a full sentence. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's just a
Okay.
word.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And two more. So the quick one is hoteru. Again, I'm pretty sure it's just hotel, which
Mm-hmm.
is a full-on loan word in English, in
Mm-hmm.
Japanese. Sorry, hoteru.
Okay.
Again, written in katakana.
Mm-hmm.
And now something that I thought of is that might be either a pun or an additional meaning of the type of hotel it is. So the type
Oh,
of
okay.
hotel which has hose, I don't know, maybe something like that.
Uh-huh. The Say that again?
So maybe the type of hotel with the emphasis on hose, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
Maybe something like that.
yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, yeah,
But that's me reaching.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Again, one reason. Let me describe the next one, and then I'll bring back my idea for the whole thing, for the whole
Okay.
slide.
Okay.
So we have the first one being kushitsu ari on the left. After that, we have
Yeah.
aki pod ari. So
Huh.
they both
Okay.
have ari,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is a form of the verb aru, which is to have.
Okay.
So in this case, it means available, right at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
from aru to have.
Oh, okay, I
And
see.
also there is nashi, which is unavailable. So if it
Which
were,
no. Sorry, I just
hmm?
saw my character for no.
Oh yeah.
I saw it again.
So notice how that same kanji uh, is used, but it is read differently. So in the 24/7 service, it was mu.
Mm-hmm.
In peerless, it was also mu, but here it is nashi because it is a verb here. Like it is a form of a verb,
Okay.
like to have and not to have. And that is one of the examples of what is called suppletion to a degree. Suppletion is when a form of a verb or of a word in general does not derive from the same root as all the other words. A good example
Okay.
is go went. So go went gone. So went is a suppleted form because that means that the whole paradigm, so all the forms of the way the word changes in its forms,
Okay.
that specific form got supplied from some other paradigm, from
Okay.
some other word. So in English it is go went gone, and in English it is aru, but for to have, but it
Mm-hmm.
is nashi or nai for not to have.
Mm.
It is, again, I say it's a kind of a suppletion because it is not a true suppletion where it's a true other word bringing up that form, because it is I think it traditionally came from aranai, which is
Mm.
the full form of aru plus negative, but they
Okay.
just dropped the root of the word and just left the negative part, and that became kind of the new root for the word, right? So
Oh,
it
okay.
is not truly split from any other word, but it kind of is. It doesn't look like it,
Suppleted.
let's say.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Is
other thing
that
that I wanted to look at, yeah, go ahead.
is that the same thing that happened with the alphabet whenever you would say like they would all be like SAS, SSS, but then a random like G would be in the middle of it when you're trying to like go through that the alphabet elements. Is that the same with suppletion
Um,
or is
I
that
think to
different?
some forms it is, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Actually, that whole chart is very curious, very interesting because
Mm.
uh, it is structured as IEOL plus specific consonants,
Mhm.
which is there is another Eastern language, major one, which does that, which has a ties in Buddhism, that being
Mm.
Sanskrit.
Okay, yes, yes, I'm familiar-ish with
Sanskrit,
that.
yeah. So it's a what is called an abugida, which is that specific kind of uh, writing system, or abjad. I always mess those two up. But basically,
Mm.
it's a combination of a sign for a vowel with a sign for a consonant, and they kind of correlate with each other, making this kind of like a grid of an alphabet.
Oh,
So
okay.
that is how the Japanese alphabet is structured, but that's not how it works because
Mm.
there is no correlation between the sign for na and the sign for ni. They're not related because they derive from kanji. So
Oh
it's
shit,
structured
okay.
one way, but it works the other way. And like you get Chinese in there and English, and it's a big mess and it's beautiful.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Anyways, one
Mhm,
thing here
mhm.
that I also wanted to point out is that kushitsu, the first kanji meaning empty and the second kanji meaning room,
Uh-huh.
shitsu is room, that is a very stable kango, right? Japanese word
Okay.
because they put together.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, okay.
kushitsu is specifically an empty or vacant room, but they don't have that kind of word formation for pods. So like pod hotels. So
Oh.
it's aki, pod, ari. It's not ku, it's aki.
Ah.
It's the Japanese reading and not the Chinese one.
Okay. Okay.
Because here you can split the aki from pod, right?
Uh-huh.
The vacant and pod into two, which you can't really do with kushitsu because it's a single word.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
And that is what I was talking about in terms of your comment on the readings. So
Mm,
we have Aki and Ku as different readings of the same kanji, but they
mm-hmm.
both mean empty or vacant. It's
Okay.
just a
Okay.
matter of like vocabulary, how it interacts with other words.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if it's a merged word like kushitsu, it means empty or vacant room, all on its own. But you
Mm-hmm.
can say Aki Heya, or Heya is the full word for room, another word for room. And
Mm,
Aki in this case is um, a noun. It's considered a noun.
okay. You can or you can't say that.
You can, you can.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
An overall comment here is that again you can see the bits of English put together with Japanese uh, in general,
Mm,
kind of heading to that idea that I can almost read it or deduct the meaning here,
mm-hmm.
but I can't because I cannot read it, adding to that like mysterious side of it all, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you can understand po, you can understand pod, you can understand ho and hotel,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
not fully, not completely able to grasp it.
I think
Again,
that
in weird example. Go ahead.
oh, no, no. All I was going to say is that it is an interesting way to gain context because I know that for, sometimes whenever you're trying to understand, even if it's a language you understand, if you're trying to pick up the context of something, like you come into a conversation late, you have to find those like key words to be able to pick up on. And it's almost
Hmm.
like if you're somebody who is interested in learning another language or learning to read another language, something like this could be a great way to develop the context to better understand what these, varying characters mean in
Yeah,
relation to the word that you can understand. So I think that that's super interesting.
I when I was in the Tokyo University of Foreign Studies, we went around the library and they had a separate part for Japanese language material, and they had some books on learning the alphabets, where it was almost like how it is written here, hotel, with some alphabet, some parts of some syllables of the alphabet replaced with actual English letters, just for people to understand what it means and what is supposed to be read as, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one of the horrible way, and they tried to do it on one hand, like orthographically, right, through just through the writing of it, like
Mm-hmm.
here. Or the most horrible way to do it is how they did it is phonetically. So they tried to
Oh.
explain the Japanese words through similar sounding English words. For
Oh.
example, like Ohayo gozaimasu is good
Mm-hmm.
morning, and for Ohayo they just put in Ohio.
Oh.
I'm just like why would you do that, man? Just like
Ah.
why?
I
Ohio
see, I see.
gozaimasu.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, 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 I see.
Okay, let's move on to
Let's do it.
locations and place names.
Let's do it. Oh, I thought I had to sneeze.
So we have Konpeki Plaza,
Mm-hmm.
which is Japanese konpeki means azure, right? So Azure Plaza,
Oh,
where we said our last goodbyes to Jackie.
sad.
Personally, I would have preferred for them um, to name it Kanpeki Plaza or Kanpeki Plaza, which is under Konpeki Plaza, so the little slide on like the line between it, which means the perfect or the ideal plaza, which I
Oh,
think would
oh,
have been quite well,
nothing. Go on.
okay, which would have been quite ironic with how the heist went, right? The
Okay.
perfect, the ideal plaza. And
Mm-hmm.
then again, something that I thought of immediately with your comment on the readings that
Mm,
we had Cherry Blossom Market in Japantown,
yeah.
which had a sign there, um, which is partially kanji, partially katakana,
Yeah.
which is read as Oka Maketo. So literally cherry
Okamoto.
blossom market, because Oka is a separate word which consists of the first being Sakura cherry and the second one
Mm.
being Hana red. So Hana is the Japanese reading, and Ka
Uh-huh.
is the Chinese reading for
Oh,
flower.
okay.
So literally Sakura or cherry blossom, literally cherry
Ah.
flower. And
Yes.
Makito read in katakana being a full-on loan word here.
Okay.
So here we have a cherry blossom, which are two words in English, being read as a single word in Japanese, and we know it's a single word because they are read as Chinese through Chinese readings, and they correlate with each other. So it's a kango
Mm,
because
mm,
of the
mm.
readings.
Okay.
But for some reason, they didn't go all the way. So they didn't go full on Chiri Blossom no Marketo, right? They didn't go
Mm.
all loan wars like with I in Pranto,
Yeah.
but kind of met it halfway. And
Yeah.
Marketo, specifically for like a street market, a way more common word is Ichiba, which is the one that I wrote in
Ah.
kanji at the bottom. So Oka Ichiba is Cherry
Okay.
Blossom Market in like Cherry Blossom Bazaar, right? A
Mm.
street vendor kind of thing, fully um, in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
that word Ishiba is of particular interest to us because Ichiba are both Japanese readings, even though it's all in kanji, which would be kango, but it's not.
Mm.
But read as Ichiba, it has this meaning of bazaar of street market.
Okay.
But if we read the same word with Chinese readings, so Shijo instead of Ichiba,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes this metaphorical market, as in the financial market.
Oh. Okay.
So in English, it's market for both words. In Japanese, it is also, but they are read differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that is
So
interesting.
that is something that was very interesting to me as well. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have a bunch of place names in
Mm-hmm.
written in katakana.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Specifically, remember how uh, the t row didn't have t in there, right? So it was
Yes.
chi.
Yes.
But Night City, if you look at the transliteration here, you
Mm-hmm.
see it has t,
Yeah.
so it's Naito Shiji.
Yeah.
How does that work? It doesn't have a letter for it, but it
Mm.
somehow it is written like that. So that is
Yeah.
specifically something that they had to come up with for loan words, where they couldn't
Okay.
go Naito Shichi, or they
Yeah.
kind of could, but they decided not to. So instead, what they do is they specifically for T, they write the katakana symbol for te,
Okay.
and they add a little e to in there. So I see how it's a smaller one, like it's half the height of all the other ones,
Uh-huh,
the
uh-huh.
one at the very end.
Oh,
Now
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is a tiny e.
That's
So
a tiny
they
E.
to write to write t, they have to write te, but they write a little e in there, kind of like we write it as te, but read it with that e as well, so it's t.
Oh,
So now
okay. Yeah. How
uh
there
what
that's a fun way to kind of get around like language, I guess, hurdles or something. And is that just
yeah.
is that a common thing to do in order to like accommodate for other languages, or
Oh
is that just
yeah.
something that okay, okay. How interesting.
Uh that is um hmm, how do I do this without doxing them? Hold on.
Yeah, you're good.
Like there is uh a common last name in it's very common for last names, the surnames in Russian to end in "ugh." So it's the letter "u," which is
Uh-huh.
a very uncommon sound for English or Japanese, and
Okay.
"h," which doesn't have a correlation with any sound in well, not really any sound with in English in Japanese. Sorry.
Okay.
So when you have a last name that's end in "ugh,"
Mm-hmm.
they have to write it with hold on. They have to write a syllable that ends in o, so like go or to or
Mm-hmm.
ro or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's o plus e plus fu,
Ah, so they have
oifu.
to make yeah, they have to make that
Instead of
accommodation. I see.
they have that is very like very much language bending backwards to trying to accommodate another language, but they made it.
Yeah.
They made it work.
Yeah. Oh,
And
cool.
something else that I wanted to look at is wa. Uh, okay, it's not just wa.
Wha-
It's depending on what vowel is following the wa, it would be
Mm-hmm.
written differently. So it's if
Okay.
it's Watson, and you can clearly hear the a in there, it will
Yeah.
just write what wa. So Watson
Okay.
instead of Watson. But for Westbrook, when there is no there is no where in Japanese,
Okay.
they just full on go uesu toburuku. So
Ah.
uesu.
Oh my goodness. How interesting.
And look at let's look at bu in buruku, and
Okay.
that is a little corner. You can probably see a little dots in there at the top right of that sign,
Top.
like little dots, little stripes.
Wait, where are we at again? Sorry.
So it's fu with those two lines at the top right of it.
Are you
That is
talking
how
about
they make.
are you talking about Westbrook still?
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Go on.
So it's the one, two, three, four, the fifth sign from the left.
Okay.
So that's how they make the b row happen. They take
Ah.
the ha row and they put that sign in there.
Okay.
So because it's fu, you add that to it, and it becomes b as all the other um, signs in the row, as all the other letters in the row.
I
So
see.
it's ha hi fu he ho comes babi
Uh-huh.
bu bu bu. And
Okay.
if you
Okay.
write a little circle to it, like with Pacifica, it becomes a p row. So papi pu pu pu.
There's something about how you say that that gives me brain tingles. It is so fun to
Papi pu
hear.
pu pu.
Yeah, it's so fun to hear you say those like it's fun. But yes, go on.
Yeah. And with the sa. row, if you add those two lines to it, it becomes z, except for she. So it's za, wait, za ji zuzezo.
Mm. Oh, the
Yeah,
the variances in the sounds that different languages use is also very interesting and like because it's like all movement within your
yeah.
mouth. And so like it's literally like some people don't have the muscle memory of moving their mouth in a way to even make the sound.
Well, yeah, but that's the interesting thing that we all still have the instruments needed to provide all the other languages sounds because
Yeah.
the mouths are all the same all across the
Hmm.
world.
Yeah, it's just the practice, like learning it and whatever.
But again, here we can see how the Japanese has to adapt to like Haywood
Mm-hmm.
because wood becomes uddo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we have hay as again hay in Haywood,
Yep.
and wood becomes u plus that little smiley face in there,
Yeah.
which means that the next syllable following that sound, the consonant of it would be doubled. So we have
Ah, uh-huh.
do after that, and it's do. So like a longer, harder
Ndo.
the.
Ndo.
So hey
Yeah.
would do.
Ndo.
And
Cool.
it's funny how the I guess more like vowel rich Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
being Santo Domingo, it gets adapted to Japanese easier because it ends in vowels. So
Oh,
Santo
perfect. Yeah.
Domingo becomes
Yep.
Santo Domingo. No real trouble there.
Yeah.
Here you can see the first three letters as Santo. So to the last one, and it's
Uh-huh.
do the next one. So when you add those two lines to the t row, it becomes the, as we mentioned,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Let me do this.
So
Smooth.
it's touch. Wait, yeah, and the bit of a head scratcher is those letters that don't really correlate with all the other consonants in the row, right? So ta,
Mm.
chi, su,
Mm-hmm.
teto. It becomes
Mm.
da, ji, zu, dedo.
Holy cow.
But that's the same G that you get when you make za, ji, zu, dedo.
Yeah.
And that su that becomes zu is the same as su that becomes zu. So it has there are like cases where you can write the same sound with different letters,
Uh-huh.
but through that system. So in my mind, it always like you can write the same note with either a sharp or the what's the other one?
I don't know.
Like a C sharp that has a correlating note that is written differently to it.
Mm.
But basically, they mean the same thing. They are like
Yeah.
equivalent to each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I will try to like make the difference apparent phonetically, where
Okay.
like the su becomes z, but
Mm-hmm.
su becomes more like z, more like a d sound. But that's personally me. Like
Okay.
again, it's one of those cases where they don't really it's not differentiating. They don't make the difference
Mm-hmm.
when they speak about it.
Okay.
And lastly, we have the conversational Japanese part. So the next slide, which
Next slide.
is five. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, which we have um, Japanese phrasebook.com, which I think is a product of like Reddit language learning subreddit. which has a list of a lot of phrases in Japanese phrases, most common ones, around 50 or so.
I'm gonna just add that
And we
link in the
have,
chat.
yeah. And we have the a Japanese learning material, Japanese learning website talking about the most common or pretty common business Japanese phrases, which
Mm-hmm.
I separated here. So we have osewa ni natte arimasu, being
Mm-hmm.
thank you for your support, kindness, work, etc. Again, oru here is um, an honorific version of iru. And here is like natte iru. So naru, to become or to be, plus iru, meaning like to be. So naru is become, iru is to be, which is
Mm-hmm.
used as kind of um, like present continuous in English. So it's the state for right now, or like
Okay.
for prolonged period of time.
Okay.
So literally, I have become. Seva is very idiomatic, like bother or um, like your trouble. So literally, it means I have become your trouble. But it has the meaning of thank you for your support, kindness, work, and etc.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Next phrase is otsukare-sama. Otsukare-sama desu.
Mm-hmm.
Again, o sama for
A
the
god.
Japanese reading of the word for like kami-sama, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But skare literally means like tiredness.
Oh,
So
okay.
like again, it's your because it's o and sama, it's your tiredness, which I
Okay.
acknowledge basically. So
Ah.
it literally means thank you for your hard work or your time or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, and osaki ni shitsurei shimasu is very Japanese because it is excuse me for going ahead, meaning excuse me for leaving the workplace before you do. So
Oh.
you have to kind of apologize for leaving early or for leaving on time when your boss or your colleague stays overtime.
What? Interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah. And shitsurei shimasu in itself is like again a bother or a
Mm.
nuisance. Like sorry for bothering you is pretty much um, the full-on equivalent in English
Mm-hmm.
because you can like knock on somebody's door, you poke in and you say "失礼します," like sorry for bothering you, but something.
Okay.
The fourth one is "ちょうだい itashimasu," which is I humbly receive. Again, itasu humbly,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and that is tied to the tradition, the culture of like business cards in Japan. So you give off your credit card or your not credit card, your business card with both hands with a bow, and you receive it and you say "chodai itashimasu." So I humbly receive your business card from you.
Ah.
And the last one, oh, I forgot the. Oh, there it is. Shochi shimashita. So I understood. But more common one is the one that I put, ryokai desu. Like
Oh gosh.
um in Evangelion when they go like Roger that, they go ryokai. Again, they drop the supporting side of it. So
Okay.
it's just full on nouns in Kango words when you go either very formal
Mm-hmm.
or again kind of military talk like that. So ryokai, understood, Roger that.
Mm. Okay. Ooh, interesting.
Okay,
Okay.
and the last one is the talk on cyberpunk in Japanese, or why is
Yee.
cyberpunk so Japanese?
Mm-hmm.
So
Can I
I've listed some. Go ahead.
Can I ask you just one question, or even Matsuma one question? What is, because Matsuma mentioned just in chat that his grandfather had a bunch of those red dolls in his house, and what's
Mhm.
a Daruma doll?
Yeah, Daruma. It's
Daruma?
like a I think it is a. Oh, right. I looked into that. I think it is a representation of either like a again a Shinto deity or
Okay.
somebody from Buddhism. I don't remember specifically,
Okay.
but
Okay.
the idea is that the way you use it, it's like a little piggy bank for good luck. Yes, as Masuma said.
Ah.
Yes, it has a little key, a little coin in, like a coin slot in there. Again, I don't remember
Mm.
the specifics there, but it's either comes with a little coin in there or you put one in there. So the tradition is you think of a wish, and you, as you might have noticed in the website,
Yeah.
they come in with only one eye painted in,
Oh.
and you either paint in one eye when you make a wish and put in a coin, or the coin is already there. Don't remember specifically again.
Uh-huh.
But when that wish comes true, you draw in the other eye.
Oh, that is, oh my goodness. Okay. That is very cool.
Yeah,
Very neat.
I also have one. I don't think I did the whole wishing thing,
Oh,
but
okay.
still. And
Maybe, you
obviously
know?
they have the maybe, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that then. And thank
And
you, Matsuma, for sharing
and
that as well.
the logo for the website Gogo Nihon is a maneki neko. So maneki is maneku to like to draw in, like
Uh-huh.
to attract. And
Uh-huh.
neko is cat. So it's
Oh,
like
it's
the
a cute,
beckoning cat.
adorable.
And that, if I remember correctly, is a yokai. So it's like a spirit in the Japanese mythology.
Mm. Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
beckoning cat. But coming back to Cyberpunk in Japanese
Indeed.
and why it's so Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I've listed yeah, I listed some canonical texts, right? The backbone of the cyberpunk genre here.
Yep.
The first one being William Gibson's Neuromancer of the year 1984.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is specifically Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, so not the book that is based off of. At least that's my
Okay.
personal opinion. Has always been that the book is more like hard fiction, and
Okay.
Blade Runner is more full on cyberpunk at this point.
Okay.
And we have Katsuhiro Otomo's Akira, so both manga and anime, 82 and 88 respectively. And the
Mm-hmm.
last one is Masamune Shiro, that's a pen name of the author of The Ghost in the Shell, which is the years 1989 through 1991. So all of those um, mm, pieces of media have either Japanese based surroundings or environments in them,
Mm-hmm.
which they all do, but some go even deeper in their inspiration. The bigger are their inspiration outside of Japan being Hong Kong,
Yeah.
right? And the overpopulation of the specific district of Hong Kong is also famously has been the inspiration for kind of like the slums of in the Blade Runner and in Akira and Ghost in the Shell specifically, because you see a lot of full-on Chinese in Ghost in the Shell.
Mm-hmm.
And that all ties in with the 80s like perception that made the cyberpunk genre come about. And now
Mm-hmm.
if we go back to the next slide, is uh, the specific elements that I wanted to bring up is of the 80s that made
Mm-hmm.
the cyberpunk genre be what it is right now
Yeah.
is the economic growth of Japan, or the so-called Japanese economic miracle of the post-World War II Japan,
Yeah.
where a lot of Japanese corporations have gotten really big very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
There has been fears of the Japanese economy overtaking the American economy for the number one spot in the world economies.
Yeah.
And specifically, the two different types of corporations in Japan. So it's Zaibatsu corporations, which
Mm-hmm.
are the like industrial era, so again, 19th century corporations with which are basically kind of like the royal families of its own industrial field, you know? So
Okay.
like it's family run,
Mm-hmm.
um, gaining a lot of power in the industry first,
Mm-hmm.
then getting into the politics of the country, and then branching out to other industries. So if you think
Okay.
like Yamaha being in both motorcycles and musical instruments,
Yeah.
and or like uh, later on that model got like accepted, got picked up specifically in South Korea as
Mm-hmm.
Chobol. And Samsung is one of the biggest Chobol examples
Uh,
in South Korea, where they
yeah.
run literally the entire country. South Korea is a modern era cyberpunk dystopia full on. There's a good video saying it, but that's a whole other topic.
Oh my gosh. But
And
but if you want, post that video if you haven't already in like I learned section because that would be probably
oh yeah,
something
yeah,
really
yeah,
interesting to watch later. Like another day.
yeah. And that's the part that like the history of Zaibatsu is that they were around only for until the defeat of the Japanese Empire by the United States, because
Mm.
one of the ways they wanted to bring basically the U.S. occupation of Japan. One of the goals was to break up the industry and make those monopolies not happen as much. So
Mhm.
the next one was Keiretsu, which is like a system of enterprises in this case, which
Okay.
is the like the descendant of the Zaibatsu corporations,
Okay.
which I assume because that didn't happen in South Korea, that's why they have a full-on Zaibatsu corporations over there, and Japan
Mm.
not as many.
Yes. Okay.
So we have that's that economic Japanese side of the 80s, combined with the conservative neoliberal economic policies of Thatcher and Reagan specifically,
Mhm.
which made the corporations um, more well more powerful. Let's call it what it is,
Mhm.
uh, and putting punk in cyberpunk, where cyberpunk is specifically a counterculture genre, supposedly showing people the other side of the reality or the optimistic side of the reality that people witness outside. We have a
Hmm.
counterculture genre with the whole goal of it being um, like let's look at the neoliberal economical policies and what they bring about and think
Mhm.
about what can what can happen out of it. And
Yeah.
the biggest example of those corporations which are benefiting from those policies being the Japanese ones, which
Mm.
are the biggest ones at the time, and it turning almost in a bit of a xenophobic view of things, where oh, those rich Japanese businessmen are coming over, taking over our country with their food, with their language, or with their influence, and again their money.
Mhm.
Uh, so by the year 2020 something, we would all be speaking Japanese or some kind of Japanese English mix,
I see.
which
Yeah.
which is a narrative
Yeah.
that we are mirroring right now with China.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And when I looked into it on again on Cyberpunk Reddit,
Mm.
uh, Reddit is like it's a bit of a hit or miss, but the quote that I found there was pretty like arguably pretty on the nail, at least in the general perception of the basics of the historical foundation of cyberpunk. And that's the
Mm.
quote that I found. So the rise of neoliberalism is the rise of the low life everyone loves to bring up when talking about cyberpunk. Is the authority punks feel the need to fight back against. Is the marriage of megacorporations and states in the service of capital at the detriment of human lives. Is the actual part that steals people's humanity and not the shiny metal limbs. The chrome is just the manifestation, the commodification of our very bodies, another soulless product for the profit of the authority. You have felt more like a machine than a person in your life, for example, at work. You know what that's like. It could only get worse if your boss told you that unless you cut off your arms and legs, they'll fire you.
Mm.
And that's cyberpunk right there.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a really good quote.
Yeah, I really liked it when I found it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very good.
And that's one side of cyberpunk that I guess when people bring it up, it's not
Mm-hmm.
as apparent. Is that
Uh-huh.
it is about being cool and the cool limbs and the
Mm-hmm.
shiny armor and the arms and the neon signs. It's about
Mm-hmm.
the fact that it's overwriting humanity, which I
Right.
guess when you look at it more deeply, it's usually very apparent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about the whole genre is very apparently, very clearly style over substance,
Yeah.
but that's almost like because the style is overwriting substance, you know? So
Yes.
people want to look a certain way, and through that they are losing the human substance of themselves or something. And that is something that I noticed with overall Japanese. I will finish up and then let you speak.
You're good.
Where people use again katakana, the more flashy, cool looking um, alphabet instead of the actual Japanese
Mm-hmm.
words,
Mm-hmm.
because it looks flashy, because it looks foreign, because it looks a certain way. But when you dig a little deeper and you speak the language, you understand that that is not what would have been used here if it were used by a native speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all kind of just for show. And that is a very interesting meta narrative here, like the shallow usage of a language being a
Mm-hmm.
commentary on the style over substance nature of a genre.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that feels my question to you was going to be like this glorification of themes like cyberpunk or themes like the whole like wastelander type vibe. Like, do you have like thoughts on whether or not you think people just approaching it as a really cool aesthetic and nothing else? Like, do you have a thought on whether or not you feel like that is like beneficial to society, not beneficial? Do you think that individuals who explore the aesthetic and, you know, whether it's through writing or wearing outfits, like, do you think that they are like sort of allowing or ushering in the underlying, you know, content, which is this, you know, exploration that we're going through right now with the rise of neoliberalism and stuff? Or do you think it's just like it's okay to like the aesthetic and separately it's okay to have the aesthetic mean something more than just it's cool to be punk?
I mean, mm, I feel like it's just gatekeeping at some point where you say, "Oh, if you haven't read it or you haven't understood it, you can't like participate and or like partake in a hobby."
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, it is it becomes again a very interesting meta narrative
Mm-hmm.
where you have a person who is only picking up the cyberpunk aesthetic because at some point they were sold that it is cool, so they went to the cheapest possible, again probably Amazon or some other
Mm-hmm.
big mega corporation, to
Mm-hmm.
buy up that commodity, which is the aesthetic items that are aesthetically cyberpunk, so they would be able to dress up as something that they perceive is cool, which was sold to
Uh-huh.
them. Like that
Uh-huh.
whole thing is kind of wrapping up on itself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're at the point where participating in the cyberpunk fashion or like aesthetic in that way is kind of cyberpunk in its narrative on its own. That is very
Mm.
like mind melty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that. Oh, geez. We're doing it to ourselves, basically.
Well, sort of. But at
Yeah,
this point, we're making it's it's the difference between 1984 and Brave New World, right? So
right.
1984 is all about authoritarianism and banning books, and
Yeah.
Brave New World and mass media perception is about people being so satisfied with their lives where they don't need anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
So like
yeah, yeah.
overconsumption, overwriting the need for substantial um, material, you know.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
And the next slide is just the end screen, which I found very cute.
It's so cool. Yeah, on a purely aesthetic, if I'm just talking, aesthetics, this presentation was very, very, very cool. Like just to look at. Um,
I got very lucky,
yeah.
very lucky.
Hi, Hanu. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
This whole
I
template is up for grabs on like Google Sheets or something.
there you go. Yeah. If you guys want your own Cyberpunk 2077 freaking PowerPoint, you can get it on Google Sheets. Or you say Google Sheets? Google whatever?
Yeah, it's on Figma or Google Sheets. Basically, just look up Cyberpunk 2077 template.
Hell yeah. Does now this is the point where if anybody has any questions, right? You want to have them ask them?
Or Google Slides. All right. No, it's yeah. If anybody has any questions or wants to come back to um any slides, that's the point. Basically,
Yeah.
I'm all done.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if you
okay.
have any questions, ask
Yes.
away.
So, let me uh tell anybody who might be hopping in who's like not sure what's going on. We
Yeah.
just wrapped up a 17 page, which is super fucking awesome, PowerPoint that Alex so graciously put together for us in relation to both Cyberpunk 2077 and also the language Japanese as it shows up in the Night City within the game, right? And we walk through some of the basics of Japanese. We walk through the language used for different signage. Um, kind of, we just got kind of like a really in depth, but also, as Alex and I talked about, just a bare, like touching the surface of the
Hmm.
linguistics that seems to be involved with this game in and of itself. So, if anybody has any questions related to 2070, the game Cyberpunk, and language within the game, specifically Japanese, please ask them if you have any questions. But there's also, I want to thank you, Alex, while we're sort of waiting, because that was amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to like walk us through that. It was so cool.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Which is do
Um,
itashimashite.
oh, is that thank you? Or is that you're welcome, I mean?
It is, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hell yeah. Um, Mr. Q says there was a photographers and models get together recently where they used a cyberpunk theme. Most just shoot the models through a more aesthetic lens, but it didn't feel punkish. No shame to them, just a tad bit disappointed. Mr. Q, what were you looking for in that? Like
Oh yeah,
specifically, what
that's
were you
what
looking
I
for?
mean. Mhm.
I do think it is really interesting and I know that we didn't touch on it like a ton, but it is super interesting the history and the kind of overall foundation of cyberpunk and sort of has developed as a aesthetic, as a culture. Because I think, well, I don't necessarily have any examples off the top of my head. I do think that that is a very common theme that we could see in other sort of like fashion cultures, or, uh, I don't know, lifestyles or whatever over time, where, our politics, our economic standings, all these things involved in us having a civilization or a society sort of lend themselves to how we want to sort of show up and like present ourselves,
Hmm.
and like the aesthetics that we like. It's just super interesting.
Yeah, like basically how your environment shapes your, again, well, good versus bad, how you want to be perceived, how you don't want to be perceived.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, on a broader level.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ram left you a message in the chat.
Yeah, no problem, Ram. You're welcome.
Yeah, this was awesome. And we might not have anybody who has any questions, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
I I genuinely hope that you guys just enjoyed this. This is something that Alex and I talked about, when we did our little quick trying to figure out what would work and what wouldn't work, that I was saying I personally think that there is a like a quote unquote market for this sort of presentation style learning on these platforms like Twitch. I don't I
Hmm.
don't I personally don't have the like energy to be able to put them together all the time, but I think if you have the time, you have the desire, putting this together is like this was an entire like, fucking seminar that you could present to people, and everybody who was here and who was willing to listen got this information for free. And I think that is just
Yeah.
it's fascinating and it's amazing, and technology is rad.
And I think just to add to the yeah, to what Mr. Q is saying, um, on the that it was more aesthetics than substance. I think
Mhm.
that is not only the cyberpunk part, but the Japanese part as well, in a major
Mhm.
way. Like a lot of the Japanese, um, again, Japanese looking stuff, this kind of Oriental view that is very Western centered, is
Mhm.
mostly about aesthetics than it is about the cultural underlying ideas
Mhm.
or the content or the concepts. So it's
Mhm.
like a samurai is a dude in a cool armor with the cool sword, or a ninja is a again cool, well dressed in a cool costume with cool
Mhm.
shurikens and whatever. And Geisha is
Mhm.
just she's wearing a cool kimono, whatever the hell
Mhm.
that is. And you
Yeah.
just slap some futuristic stuff on it, and you get cyberpunk, and we can take photos of that and commercialize it, and don't have any cultural or countercultural side to any of it.
Yeah. And I guess that that sort of like extrapolates itself, but really like can run parallel with the idea of like how movies or, whatever in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that presented people. Because yeah, it would be somebody would
Mm.
wear a kimono style dress with like their hair in a like very specific style that would read as some type of, East Asian or whatever like culture, but they themselves wouldn't identify as that, and it would not necessarily be pertinent to the actual like topic or whatever content in the film or show. And like, I don't know, I guess just being able to like take these cultures and take these I visuals of somebody's identity and then just kind of like not have any thought behind it. It is
Yeah.
it's a tough thing for me to, I guess, sometimes like figure out where I stand with it. Because I would like to think there is an argument behind the idea of like, we create fashion, just specifically speaking about like aesthetics with wearing clothes. We create fashion
Hmm.
that can be like, we have trends and we have all this other stuff, right? But then, that is maybe for a Westerner, fashion is considered one thing, but maybe for somebody who lives somewhere else, their clothing choices are not just how they want to like present themselves, but it's also like a religious factor involved or a, familial factor or something. And that sensitivity sometimes gets lost somewhere in the middle, but it's still fashion. And that can be just such an interesting and tricky conversation.
Yeah, and that's the
Hi, Captain.
the thin line of cultural appropriation, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's all just very interesting. And cultural appropriation, while in my mind's eye, I often think about it as like a clothing thing or a like physical element. It's also like in what we've sort of seen here, where it could be language, it could be the visual, like the aesthetic of a
Yeah,
language, it could be the way that somebody uses certain characters of a language. Um, yeah. How interesting. Well, I don't
that
think
is
anybody
something that
has.
I didn't think of.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That you brought up how like the honestly, the Japanese side of the entirety of the cyberpunk subgenre is kind of shallow because that's how it was portrayed originally, because it was portrayed by the Western um, centric
Hmm.
writers and stuff who just
Right.
didn't know anything about that side. But now, even with shows like Shogun, which are very based in the reality of the culture, which are
Mm-hmm.
still Western, I wonder if it's about time where we get a portrayal of cyberpunk, this futuristic dystopia, which is not just Western centric, but it has the other side, the other perception, the other point of view portrayed in a decent way as well.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that would be really neat. And I hope that that is what's on the horizon, but yeah. Mr. Q has a question about solar punk.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Solarpunk?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So for me, not knowing
So,
anything, I would say, yeah, it's punk.
so, I haven't read the books, but I'm aware of the subgenre. So,
Mm,
if again visually, if we think of cyberpunk as dirty streets, night, rain, neon lights, advertisements everywhere,
yeah.
solar punk is green energy, sunny, green, solar panels, wind turbines,
Ooh.
non-commercialism, anti-capitalism, and basically socialism.
Oh.
So it's about the smaller communities coming together to build communes driven by sustainable energy and resources.
I have
And
never heard of
personally, I do
this.
think it's punk, but it is, how well, it's like cyberpunk is aesthetics plus the punk side, and the punk side being anti-capitalist. But I feel like solar punk goes even farther, whereas these green aesthetics plus the anti-capitalist side of punk, and it goes even further into the left-wing side of punk, which is again very socialist and in its nature. And in
Yeah.
that sense, I guess it is punk.
Yeah. I think I would agree with that cuz I think um limiting it to the way that cyberpunk the genre presents itself feels very, as you mentioned earlier, Alex, like gatekeepy. And if it's doing the same thing against a system, like pushing against a system or pushing into a system or whatever, as Cyberpunk is, then like why wouldn't it be the same? It's just it is not the Cyberpunk that people know. Or it's not just, it's not the quote unquote, I guess, punk that people know.
Hmm.
I mean, I would
And the
agree.
difference here is that cyberpunk is dystopian, so you're in the middle of it, and
Mm.
solarpunk is mostly post-apocalyptic. So the society has crumbled, and people have built
Oh.
back up. So in a way, when like if cyberpunk is a dystopia, in my perception, solarpunk is kind of a utopia.
Ooh.
So like everything kind of works. That's how we want it to work in the end. And that's an
Oh.
interesting like cultural side of it, where in the 80s, financially everything has been growing and stable. So
Mm.
that's when the dystopia came around,
Mhm. Mhm.
showing that it could be worse, it could be bad, you know.
Yeah.
And now, when we're in a recession and the wars and pandemic and whatever
Yeah.
has happened, or everything is kind of bad, we need to balance it out with literature, with culture, with art the other way. So it is instead of a dystopia during the good times, we get a utopian solar prong during the bad times. That's how I see it.
Yeah, and actually I think there is a common thread with that or that I think that is something that happens and is like a phenomena that happens within our societies because and I can't think of the specific example right now, but there are other examples of that where if the times that people are living in are difficult, there's something that is born out of it to help give people hope. And then if the times are good, then there's something born out of it that keeps people grounded. And like
Hmm.
I mean it makes a lot of sense. Hi, Robin. It's good to see you. Welcome in. There we go. Mr. Q added to what you said.
Yeah, Mr. Q. So in Cyberpunk, you have an
Hmm.
actual antagonist inside of the story that you are fighting against as a punk, right? But here, I think solar punk is different in the sense that if we if we view that viewpoint, that ideology inside of our current world, uh, like accepting it into our own reality would be punk and counterculture opposed to what we have right now.
Hmm.
So inside of the stories of solar punk, maybe there is not any punk elements, but outside of it, there is one.
Yeah. Hmm. Would you rather be upgraded with cybernetic or enhanced biologically?
Hmm. Probably cybernetically. I want a
Really?
cool metallic arm. I want a cool
That's
metallic arm.
fair. That's understandable. I think I would want to do it. I would want to be enhanced biologically. I think if I was enhanced as the other way, it would mean that I would have had to have had something fall off of me or break or I feel like it would just be more painful. Magnets, have
Hmm.
a wonderful
It
evening. Thank you
depends.
so much for hanging with us. We'll see you
Actually, I
later,
am kind of
okay?
a cyborg as well. I have a crown put in my tooth.
There we
So,
go.
yeah, and that there's actually something that I struggled for a little bit. Like, oh, I've lost a part of myself forever, and I have it replaced.
Ooh. Yeah. Something of a that's like a bit of a different conversation, but yeah, I see that. I can understand that. Well, okay. Alex, I know it is late for you.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and wrap this up here, and
Hmm.
then we can talk about it more another day. But I want to thank you again so fucking much for putting this together. This was so amazing. You put so much time and energy into this, and I really want to emphasize how grateful I am that you were willing to do this with us.
You're welcome, Nikki. Again, it's goes both ways, right? So you get a presentation, and I get like a place to practice and to try myself out with this kind of content for the future.
Yeah, and I genuinely I'm going to give Alex a shout out here. Alex is not streaming at present, like whatever, but we're trying to get our
Yeah, not
friends to
yet.
get back into this, like get into it so that more content can be put out there, especially content as it relates to learning, because Alex is literally so brilliant. And I think you have so much to share
Oh,
with people. So I'm go and follow, please. Support Alex.
it's almost like I'm a teacher or something.
It's almost like you're a fucking teacher and getting your fucking PhD and being a fucking boss ass bitch.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, Alex, I'm gonna let you go. Do you have anything else that you want to share before we wrap up?
I have a cat purring in my lap. That's something I want to share.
Amazing. Jealous.
Maybe.
All right. Well then, enjoy the rest of your evening. Please rest well. We will catch you another time.
Thank you. Yeah,
Mhm.
there is, as I've discussed with Nikki, there is more stuff that I might do if she's interested. Maybe again in my own stream when we do it if as a full-on collab. But
Yeah.
it is in the works. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So go and follow because if you like learning, these are the places you want to be, okay? And Alex, have a good rest of your evening. Sleep well, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye,
Oyasumi nasai.
Alex.
Bye bye. That's good night.
Bye. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
That was so nice. Alex is so nice. Ram, shut up. Y'all, I will have to check with Alex to make sure he is okay with it. But if he is okay with it, I will maybe we'll share the PowerPoint with you all just in case you guys want to go through it yourselves. Um because there obviously there was so much information, right? Alex was giving us as the like most condensed form of a proper class that we could get, right? Um and I know like with the audio quality and stuff like that, it can be a little wonky, but maybe if he's willing, we can share that. And then those of you who are interested in going back through and maybe following along or having it for yourself, like that'll be great. Nikki, be honest, how much of that will stick? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. Usually when it comes to learning things, it depends. I need to like let it sort of sit with me for a little bit. Right now, not very much is here, right? Because I'm a little overwhelmed. We have stream. I I came back from like a little event that was happening that Twitch was like sponsoring at a local place near us. So I'm a little like I came in a little frazzled, but I am like I'm thrilled to have been able to do this with Alex. He's so much fun. Can Alex wait, Alex, can you do one get out of here. You could have said buenos noches. Oh my gosh, shut up, Nikki. Be honest. Okay, I already did that. Not gonna lie. When I hopped in, I was like, damn, Nikki's learning some advanced Japanese. No, no. Now it's cool because friggin' Alex has advanced knowledge, and Alex is trying to pursue a teaching career in like with Japanese. So our fingers are crossed that that is something that is in the future for him, and um hopefully doing this with us is going to be beneficial for him in the long run as well. I can't, I genuinely cannot believe that there are people who are willing to just come on here and hang out with me and chat with me about stuff. Like I really like learning about stuff, even if not all of it will stick, right? Because that is Alex giving us a run through of stuff that like he already inherently knows, and I have no foundation in it, right? But just even getting to learn something, getting to share the space with somebody who likes to share stuff, talk about stuff, I fucking love it. Oh yeah, thanks for the GCX stream, by the way. So here's what happened with that. I'll give you guys a quick rundown of what happened. And then I'll tell you guys more Tuesday. I believe in him. He got it. I agree. I agree, Mr. Q. And again, thank you so much for the resubscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with us today. Ram, shut up. Surely there's an anime watching stream somewhere in there. Surely, Simon. I will watch anime. Technically, Dan and I are watching Dragon Ball Z right now, so, I'm doing it. But, okay, with GCX, with the stream that I was supposed to do, it was kind of like a maybe I'm going to stream, maybe I won't stream. And I ended up going to the convention. The convention was rad. Again, I'll do a little bit more of a deep dive into it on Tuesday because I will have more energy to be able to do that. But once I got there, I think I was just so overwhelmed and nervous that I did not feel comfortable. I just didn't feel comfortable streaming. I don't know. And I obviously promise I will stream, or maybe stream, but definitely vlog at DragonCon. But this is a really good like entry test vibe check of what streaming and content creation and networking and meeting people looks and feels like. This is the first time that I have ever like actively done something like this with the intention of meeting people, with the intention of engaging and trying to be as like open and receptive to the environment as possible. And as a result of that, we got so many wonderful things. We were treated so kindly. So, yeah, I've been watching Dragon Ball Daima. Ooh, I don't know where that is in the series. Where are you guys in DBZ? So we are currently in Dragon Ball Z. We tried watching Dragon Ball, but it was too weird at the beginning for both of us. So we skipped over that, and now we're just in Dragon Ball. We are currently at the point where Gohan just had the whole series with those like orphaned kids in that one town. So he was gonna go home to like he was with the orphans, and then he was gonna go home after he like dealt with that situation. But then he remembered that he is going to save lives and save the world, and then decided no. So then Piccolo was there and was like, "Are you ready to start your serious training now?" And Gohan was like, "Yeah, I'm down." And that's where we're at. There's a channel on YouTube called Game Gengo, which is similar to what we've gone through, so check that out. Hell yeah, also 2 a.m. here. Alex, that's crazy. Yes, go to bed. If you need recommendation, and I mean any genre you want to watch, I'll be here. Sounds good, Simon. Thank you. I'll surely believe that the stream until... Okay, that's very fair. That's very fair. Chat, did we fucking work, BB? Yeah, we did. IRL streams on the way. Yes! Myth! Yes! Oh my gosh, are you watching DBZ Kai or full length? I don't know what that means. I think full length. I think. I'm gonna give you a quick shout out. Again, go and follow Alex, AleksAlas. Go and follow Mift. Go and follow all of our friends. We had so many wonderful people today pop in. I wasn't able to give everybody the attention that I know you all deserve, but that was in large part because we were learning with the lovely Alex. So, but I got to hang out with Mift, which was so much fun, and I cannot wait for Mift to move in like closer to our area so that we can all hang out all the time. I got to hang out with Steven, which was super fucking fun. I hang out with Steven over comms all the time and we play Overwatch together, but it was nice getting to like see him in person and basically spend 2 days with him effectively. And then we hung out with Lewis, Atticus, and Faith a very little bit today, but we hung out with them, and then we met just a bunch of people. We met Airy Summer, we met Henkin, we met Captain Richard, we met oh my gosh, was it Chozo? We met It's just so many people. Oh my gosh, speaking of, we met Ari, the lovely bean that she is. Oh my god, Ari, I love you so much. I'm so excited to hang out with you again. But yeah, we got to meet just so many wonderful people, and it was super rad, and she's been waiting for her moment. Mwah. Perfection, the perfect moment. Heck yeah, I love it. Yeah, it was amazing. So, all things considered, we had a wonderful time. I am going to wrap up stream here because I am so tired, and I would like to just go and hang out with Dan and chill for a little bit. But oh my gosh, freaking! I'm sorry, all of my alerts are turned off because I did that. But hold on, hold on, hold the phone. I can turn them back on. I think I wait. Alerts on, sounds on, chat. There we go. 30 more days, Ari. 30 more days after experience together. I hope that you had a great time out and about. I hope your drive home was super duper safe. Mr. Q, you're a legend. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Ari. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your night, Ari. And this goes for everybody. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your day, enjoy whatever time of day it might be for y'all. I am going to find somewhere that we can raid out into, and then we will freaking wrap things up, babies. You all are divine. Need a bit of relaxing? Absolutely, Ari. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I am so excited to just go lay down and chill. Eventually. Happy that you got home safe and sound and had a good time. Yes, Ari, thank you. Truly, thank you so much. I cannot recommend some of these beautiful people enough. I am so excited to go and hang out in more channels and make more friends. There, like I said, there are, it's all very up in the air right now, but there are things that could potentially be in the works for future streams, future hangouts, future collabs. So yeah, it is a great time right now to be alive and to be a streamer and to be in this space together. So yippee. My throat is hoarse. Didn't have a lecture like that in a bit. Oh my gosh, Alex, but you did so great. I know that you said that you had a bit of a cough, so go and get a cough drop, take care of your throat, drink some water, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, you did fantastic and you're a legend. So thank you. Never knew staring off into space while hearing cool info could wear someone out. Man, Ram. Anyway, I'm leaving. We're gonna raid into Layla's stream because Layla is currently live. She loves doing her Sunday, I was gonna say Sunday socials. Oh God. She also streams on Sundays and she deserves all the love and support. So let's go ahead and do the thing. We're gonna send some love to Layla. What the heck, Matsuma, thank you so much for gifting a sub to freaking Alex. Alex, 30 more days ad-free experience. I hope you enjoy your time, enjoy them emotes, and enjoy being a mother freaking platypussy on screen, okay? Thank you to every single person who followed today and yesterday. Ram, thank you for the biddies. I'm sorry I had to mute you. Please forgive me. Cranius Gigantus, again, thank you so much for the raid. And if you're still here from Grady's raid, thank you guys for hanging out today. Mr. Q, thank you for resubscribing. Thank you for gifting a sub to Ari. And then Matsuma, thank you for gifting a sub to Alex. We appreciate you guys. We love learning. Thank you, Alex, again for coming through and sharing your knowledge with us. And let's get this raid going, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Don't. Socials. Discord. Raid 2. There we go. No, okay. I'm on social media. If you would like to follow me, please consider doing so. We currently have a YouTube goal. Yes. We have a YouTube goal. I would love to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, but I am totally fine not doing that. If it just means that we are steadily increasing those numbers, I promise at some point I will actually post content that is interesting to watch. But right now I am just posting Twitch clips, and then I'm posting most of my VODs. So I am Ram, yes. Aga, thank you so much for being in here. Thank you for lurking if you were lurking today. We appreciate you, Aga. Also, I got beef to pick with you because I heard some shit. But I'll send you the information later on. I was hard lurking. Well, I appreciate you. Next Cyberpunk one. That'll be next week. We'll do it next week. Promise. I will post a schedule very soon. So keep your eyeballs peeled for that shit, okay? And yeah, you guys. This is so awesome. Having a community like this that is just so freaking accepting of the shit that I want to do makes my heart so happy. So you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said about 1,000,000 times now, and I'll catch you guys sometime next week, okay? I love you very much. Adios.